This week on Face Off Hockey Show, a post-birthday celebration, which includes, the Penguins being eliminated. Oh, not even a weekend, they're gone. Oh, I love it. I got some coaches hired. We got some women beating women in world championships under duress, and playoff talk. It's all next. Face Off Hockey Show right now.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm Scotty Waz. We're doing things here. It's birthday, post-birthday celebration, as I said. Your boys hitting that Mike Eagle level.
Sorry about that. Whew.
All right.
I was trying to take allergy medicine while the intro was on, and then I dropped it, so I had to find it while the intro was playing, and then I lost track of time.
These things happen. Don't worry about it.
Just taking pills before the show.
That's fine. Popping pills like you should. Yeah. So the Penguins were eliminated. Boy, howdy, was that a great feeling last night?
I didn't
Not
see
if
it.
you're a Penguins fan.
I slept for 11 and a half hours last night.
Attaboy. Allergy season, so yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I had a really terrible headache all day. And I got home and took my NyQuil bomb, and I woke up at 6:15 this morning.
Lovely. Perfect.
But I feel way better now.
Well, that's good. That's good. You at least got that going for you. Yeah. So we'll start off with Johnny Pez dispenser. What's up with your week there, boss?
Oh, so what happened? Last Thursday, went out with some coworkers. We went out for happy hour. We ended up leaving the bar at the second period somehow.
Wow.
And it was line dancing night.
Interesting.
There's this bar in Pasadena. Apparently, a whole bunch of people came down from the Cancun Cantina for line dancing night.
To say, did you actually just end up in the Cancun Cantina?
No. I swear I wasn't there. We were in Edgewater.
Oh,
did I say Pasadena?
Yeah,
we were in Edgewater, near work. So yeah, so is what it is. That was fun. I don't remember a whole lot of Friday. I don't think I did anything cool on Friday. Saturday went out for the Caps game in Glen Burnie.
Ooh.
Down by Carol's Western Wear and the Pep Boys on Route 2. There's
what's down there?
It's called something 33. To look at my texts.
It's a terrible name for a bar. Unless you're repping Eddie Murray or Memorial Stadium.
There was definitely Eddie Murray stuff on the wall.
Good.
There was also what's the other Larry Bird.
Oh, Don Beaupre? Was there any Don Beaupre stuff in there?
No.
Damn it.
Not. It was called. I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, yeah. Chris Davis got a hit this weekend.
Hey, there's that.
I watched they put Chris Davis breaking his slump to the Titanic music.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Bubba's 33. Apparently it's a decently new bar.
Obviously.
Near Carol's Western Wear. But during the bar stay, one of my friends that I was out with goes, what size jersey do you wear? I was like, 46. Why? He's like, I think they had one of those all-star jerseys at Dick's.
Hmm.
Wait, what? You know, the All-Star jerseys. Yeah, the Parlay Adidas jersey that I was trying to get after the All-Star game, but they were all sold out everywhere. How about I go to Dick's after the game? So after Brooks Orpik scores in overtime, I drive to
As-
Dick's,
Obviously.
and they have one black Capitals All-Star jersey, authentic, on the rack. So I bought that.
It's fate.
But what I did not realize until I got to Dick's is that they didn't come with the shoulder patch. The shoulder
no.
patch was not on the jerseys that they actually sold. On
So you
like-
got to find a shoulder patch now.
I already have a shoulder patch because
Perfect.
Amazon has everything.
Of course it does.
So I have an All-Star Game shoulder patch that now just needs to get sewn onto the right shoulder because I've looked at all the pictures of the All-Star Game.
Smart.
And yeah, and now I have like a new Caps jersey that I did not think I would ever be able to find unless it was on eBay for a lot of money.
And here you are. Dick's
So I got
Sports Goods.
lucky. Being
Glen
small
Burnie.
worked out again.
There you go. Big winner there.
And then yes, after that, my I saw a funny thing that said that that the pollen was so bad in Maryland that the meth labs were turning crystal meth back into Sudafed.
Zing.
So yeah, but I will say right here in the notebook, I did some research for Fuck You this weekend.
There it is. Johnny's on the ball today.
I did leave the iPad upstairs though, so I'm gonna have to use my phone. There's a
Uh-oh.
much smaller screen.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, really. I watched a bunch of hockey. Oh, that's why I don't remember Friday night. Actually, Friday night I was feeling pretty bad also, so I came home from work and I took a nap, and I woke up at some point in the middle of the East Coast games, and then proceeded to watch all of the West Coast games. I was
There
like,
it
this
is.
is the first time I've ever seen the Sharks play, like live. So that's what occurred. That was why I don't remember a whole lot, because it was like alternate Johnny P.
There you go. West Coast Johnny P.
Yeah.
Hode Rabina Johnny P.
Check it in. Check it in from the West Coast. Peace.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so other than that, normal weekend of watching, a bunch of hockey teams lose games already.
Beautiful. Love it.
Oh, and I did also watch the women's I almost said World Cup. The
Yeah.
women's world championship final. So when we get to that on the rundown, whoo-wee,
Yeah. No, that's gonna be.
what a day that was.
It didn't seem great. Didn't
Wow.
seem like a great time for anybody. Even winning seems terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I'll just wait because I don't want to infringe on your week.
Yeah. No.
So
Well, my week
how's
just
your week. 'Cause
my-
you
my
had a
week-
birthday,
Yeah, my week just consists of my birthday. That's all.
but you
that I
got a
worked this
lot
weekend.
of
Oh, boy.
OYO sports. I saw
Oh, little Jen got me a nice little fun time.
an assortment.
An assortment, yes, a cavalcade, as it were. Now I did buy.
She's an
on
enabler.
Tuesday- Yes, she kind of is, but it is the cheapest midlife crisis you can ever have.
That's true. You didn't buy a sports car.
I will say this: I did buy some on Tuesday by myself because we were at the North Dakota Sioux shop, so I decided, hey, why not? But
The Sioux shop sounds like it's like a sushi bar,
yeah,
but
It's
not
a
really.
It's a legal place. So she bought me a little Tyson Jost in his North Dakota garb. A little Travis Zajac, who I want to keep saying Zach Parise for some reason. Drake Kajula, which we'll find out later that I bought one too because they were on sale. They said, yeah, no, these are on sale for $1.23. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll get one, not realizing that I had one in my car already.
That's all right.
A Zane McIntyre gimmick for the Boston Bruins, and the coup de grace, Audie from the Utica Comets.
Ah, that's beautiful.
And then also, she went on eBay and got me. Toys R Us had a line of Oyos that Oyo just gave their name out to, and they traded it off to a Chinese company. So she got me like a shootout set of Connor McJesus and Carey Price with a referee. And it's just like a quarter. It's like from Blue Line in.
I like the goal too. The goal's fantastic looking.
Yeah. So it's a nice little artsy piece that I have too. So she got me that. So that was pretty rad.
You build it.
I know. And the problem is I have my Toys R Us rink here, which was a bastard to build in because you had to build in every little. Because usually they'll just give you the 3 plates, and you're like, all right, and then you just build around it and then put the ice in. This one you had to build the whole thing. So fucking should be a tour. So the ones that I bought myself though, got a Carter Rowney. UND. These are all, I think, UND guys. Brock Nelson of the Brock Nelson of the Stanley Cup champion defeating New York Islanders. Taylor Chorney, who has a Stanley Cup ring.
He does. I saw it. I mean, not his, but I saw the video.
Yeah. Rocco Grimaldi. This is actually real size. This is not scaled down at all. This is real size Rocco Grimaldi. Nick Schmaltz was also $1.23 because he's in a different uniform. And then my second Drake Kajula, because I didn't realize it was in the car already. So yeah, it was an Yo Christmas on my birthday. Then yeah, we went to the Blue Moose for dinner, and then got a cookie cake, which is epic. And that's that. That was that. It was pretty much my birthday. And then today I took off today, just for shits and gigs.
See, I was gonna make a joke about those that Blue Line in piece that you have there. So if you get 2 of them, right, and you put them together, the like mid-90s Devils would hate that because there's no neutral zone.
Guys, I don't know what to do. I got a Ken Danico Oyo. He'd be lost. That's a lie. He never passed. He never even got close to the red line in his career.
He'd be in his defensive zone of the blue line.
Yeah, constantly. He's like, hey, guys, what's happening?
They're like, why is there a defender on this side?
Oh, wait a minute.
I thought we sold these only in goalie and attacker sets.
There's a couple more, and they also have like locker room sets. But since Toys R Us died, so did the rest of that Oyo set. And like I said, it was pretty. It wasn't the Oyo quality, but still cool. I'm glad I have one because I can add it to my what is that? Decor. Yeah, decor. That's the ticket. All right. That was my week.
All right.
Yeah, like I said, it was just birthday because I worked the weekend, so it was kind of like
everybody's working for the weekend,
right? I have to work one day. I have to work tomorrow, and then I'm off Friday too. I'm like, well, this is fucking
That's
pointless.
weird.
Oh yeah, I took 2 days off. Well, I took 2 days off, so you get that allotted. And since I work the weekend, I have 1 day off during the week. So it's like I worked. I got paid for doing nothing. Which, God, if only, right?
I get paid for taking off work.
Yeah, well, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's something for you. Guess who I talked to this week?
Oh,
and it's
do
funny
I get to guess?
Because we talked about him like a couple weeks ago, I think, in passing.
TV's Joe Miller.
Close. Actually, not close at all.
Pete Medhurst.
Nope.
Todd Butts.
No, I talk to him regularly.
Oh yeah, true. David P. Lycomey.
No. Think outside our inner circle, but still in our inner circle.
The second rink at Piney Orchard.
Almost. Almost.
All right, I'm just kidding. This is my version of haha.
Yeah, exactly. It's your boy Captain Bosch.
Oh, how about that? I still have that postcard that we made upstairs and all signed, that all the drawings he made.
Oh, the caricature?
Yeah.
Nice.
They were fantastic.
He actually has an author's page. He's written some books.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I'm glad we've heard from him. How's he doing?
Doing well. He's in the Dirty Jurors, doing family stuff, doing graphic stuff for companies, writing books, apparently. I never thought.
Wow.
Yeah, the true story of Noah's Ark. That was
by Captain Bosch.
Yeah. Well, I think he uses his real name.
Oh.
It'd be great if it was just by Captain Bosch. It'd be fantastic. Playoff Beard and a Fat Vegan. That's a book I might have to buy.
Well, wasn't that his
He was the curator of playoffbeard.com.
Hold on, I might still have that actually.
Lest we forget.
Where is this? Hold on.
It's 104 pages. What is this book about? Tell me what this playoff beard book is about,
Oh, it's
Amazon.
not in here. Damn it.
Oh, hookers.
Yeah, I don't have the playoff beard bumper that we made.
Oh, God. Yeah, I forgot that one. It's actually probably on my external hard drive over there. But yeah, he's got some books out, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad he's doing well.
I'm glad he is too. He was one of the old OGs.
He's a GFOP.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
I think it's great friend of the pod.
Oh.
I stole it
Interesting.
from Men in Blazers, but they don't listen to our show, so screw it.
No, they don't. Until we get the cease and desist. Once we get that cease and desist here coming soon, it'll be great.
They'll be fine. I'll just send them beer.
Perfect. All right, let's get some injury news then.
All right. As soon as I put my phone back down.
Mm-hmm.
Great timing, John. Moron.
Boston Bruins are up 1-0. Oh yeah. Who's down and out with some blues? Maybe some black and bruised. It's the Face Off Hockey Show injury reports. All right, we are here in the injury report room. Andrei Shevchenkov, or Svechnikov.
Svechnikov.
Andrei Svechnikov. Concussion protocol. He is day to day, but aren't we all?
Oh, that was bad.
Boy, that was not.
Hey, Kevin. See, I say second rink at Piney Orchard, and Kevin Potter.
Oh,
shows up.
Potsy's in. Love
Yeah.
him.
That must have been his call.
Yeah, he's like, I heard the second ring call. It's like a bird call for
Like
him.
a bat signal.
Somebody say second rink. So yeah, that was not a great decision, and obviously the after effect, people are getting mad at everything because that's what the internet does these
Yeah,
days.
it's fantastic. The band fighting in sports troop has come out.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
The Ovechkin shouldn't have fought him because he is a teenager thing was funny. The part about how Ovechkin slammed his head on the ice was fantastic as well.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Even though he was already out on the way down.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will say is it's a damn good thing that they make people wear helmets now.
Yes.
Still to fight, because had he not had that helmet on, we're talking about a much bigger issue.
Yeah, we're talking possible misdemeanor murder.
Yeah. Because when his head bounces off the ice like that
Yeah.
and doesn't have anything to break the fall, then that's bad.
No. So I guess my question, your take on it quick. Like I'm mad because it took Ovi out for 5 minutes and it seemed to fuel the Canes more. I don't care that he fought. I don't care that he took up the fight. I don't like Svechnikov wanted to do that. I don't have a problem with them fighting. I don't have a problem with the result. I have a problem with Ovechkin possibly hurting his hand, which is his top hand, or no, his bottom hand too. So that's where he gets a lot of the
shooting hand.
power. Yeah. So that's my main concern.
I'm gonna say that I went into game 3 thinking that the Caps were going to lose.
Yes,
And I
I will
just
agree with that.
I just had that thought because I was like, first game back in Carolina, this team's going to be super pumped up unless the Caps score in the first like 4 minutes and like turns off the lights in the arena. This Carolina Hurricanes team is just going to fuel off of this. And it's the same thing that 09 team, Caps team did.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into it kind of not paying attention to the game. And then all of a sudden I got like a string of text messages and I go, what the hell just happened? And I had to actually rewind the game because I didn't even see it real time.
Wow.
And I didn't really know why it occurred. From what it appeared, it looked like there was a bunch of like slashing back and forth and people being angry at each other. And then Ovechkin was basically like, all right, I'm ending this right now. Do you want to go? And Svechnikov said, sure. And then got punched in the nose.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can see your point of it livened up the arena even more. And the Caps were playing decently well before that. They had some opportunities. That top line was playing pretty well, and just had a couple pucks that missed, maybe inches wide. And then after that, it kind of felt like the Hurricanes just kind of took over the game, and it was kind of the way it was supposed to be.
I think the Cavs had what, maybe 5 shots after that fight. Like,
well, they didn't have a shot in the second period, right?
I think they had 1. They had a pity shot.
Kevin said he was mad the Caps didn't rally after that. It's like your captain just knocked someone out, but the opposite happened. It fueled the Canes and embarrassed the rest of the game, and they embarrassed us the rest of the game.
Pretty much. That's that's a good take too. Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to gather behind it, and especially since they were down to 10 in forwards by the second period.
Well,
like that's something you gotta.
A lot of that is just pure adrenaline, right?
Mm-hmm. But their defensive zone was garbage. Their breakout passes were garbage. They were just not. Christian Juice scares me more than Brooks Orpik. May I say that right now? Am I allowed to say that right now?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, I'm not a big
I mean,
fan
that's what happens when you speed up Brooks Orpik, right?
Right? Yeah, so I'm not necessarily the biggest Christian Juice fan. So yeah, he didn't play that great. I don't think he could say much of the defense played that great. Oh, why am I so tired? But yeah, I mean, that Shevchenkov thing, it seems that the Hurricanes rallied around a little bit better.
Svechnikov.
Why do I say Shevchenkov? I don't know why. Is that a tennis player?
No, wasn't he the guy that played in Vegas? Or is that Shipachyov or something?
That was
like
Shipachyov.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why
Shevchenkov was a person. I
yeah,
know that.
He was a thing in history. But Svech, there it is. Svechnikov is
Kevin said Juice is out. Siegenthaler in tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Is this when the Caps start to miss Michael Kempny?
It's where the Caps start to miss Carl Alsner. Like, this is where you miss your defensive depth. Hell, Taylor Chorney at this point would be great.
They could have had Carl Alsner back for like nothing. They could have given the Canadians like $8.
Right, and have him take 50%. But yeah, I don't know. I think Siegenthaler is a little bit better, but I'm still worrisome. This is where you want Madison Bowie. This is where you want him back too.
Yeah.
But do you sacrifice him for Jensen? I don't know. I've liked how Jensen's played this
Jensen's played well.
Yeah, he's played very well. He's been he jumps up a lot, which I didn't think was going to be his game plan. He jumps up. You see a lot of times when they're on a rush, he's one of the first guys there setting a screen, which I'm like, that's kind of cool but dangerous too. We better hope somebody's back. So yeah, we'll see. I thought Game 4 was tonight. Apparently not.
Nope, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
The extra day gives the older Caps the advantage.
Well, yeah, and it definitely kills any kind of momentum or high that the Canes had.
Well, I don't know. They can if they get those barbecues going early on Saturday, because the next game's Saturday. That gives them a whole day to tailgate. People don't have to take off work to tailgate.
That's true.
I know. Saturday's here.
Yeah, Saturday's back in DC.
Thursday.
I'm trying to think, like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, I did this morning as well. I was looking at the schedule and I was like, why don't the Caps play until Saturday?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe
it happens.
And Kevin's banning the hot laps. No more hot laps.
No, that's enough.
That was last year.
Last year did it. And then the winner of this faces the New York Islanders, so kind of scared of that game too.
Well, the New York Islanders are what we think they were. Like, we knew that they were going to be a good team. Mark's going to be late again.
Hey, shocking.
We knew they were going to be a good team. And I thought about it today. How much of the Islanders beating the Penguins comes down to Barry Trotz, Lane Lambert, Mitch Korn, and an organization that does not have the psyche that they always lose to the Penguins.
Right. Well, there's that.
Because they figured out how to beat the Penguins last year.
Sure.
But they just had to get through the mental part.
Right.
This year, with a completely different roster, and the Islanders being like, we haven't lost when we were up 3-1 to the. I mean, they might have, but how much of that is a difference? Just the mentality. And we kind of saw that the Penguins were on their like way down, right? So
Yeah, they're falling fast.
they played did they play the most playoff games in the past like 3 years or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, that would make sense.
Like the Lightning are probably close to that.
No, because the Lightning didn't make it the year before.
Okay, then they're out.
Yeah,
I mean, they're out now too, but
I think the Penguins definitely, because they made it to 2 Stanley Cup Finals, a conference or a division final, and then first round. So
Kevin does not like Matt Murray.
well, no, who does? No, you shouldn't.
He says he's overrated,
Yes, he is.
but he has 2 cups.
Well, thanks to M.A. Fleury, because Matt Murray, when they were building that cup, Matt Murray was injured, and Fleury had to come over and
That's true. Very true.
like Fleury did his Fleury things. Also, Connor McDavid, update on him. He only had a PCL injury. There's no surgery needed. Huzzah.
That's good. We're not going to Oh, no, that's
No.
different.
No, that's PCU.
Oh,
PCU.
darn it.
Port Chester University.
I was waiting all week to use
Yeah.
that.
Patreon pick this week. We have a Patreon. You can give us money. It helps us with travel costs, helps us with upgrades. Patreon.com/FaceOffHockeyShow. Be like Chris and Sean and Matthew and Angela and Damon and Brian and Mitch and Mark and Trista and Jeff and Kevin and Ethan. All those people contribute. You can to Patreon.com/FaceOffHockeyShow. It was like the 2 series already. Clean sweep, playoff upsets, and the after effects that have happened. We can start with these 2. Tampa, we're going to see a different Tampa Bay roster.
Oh, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah, money-wise, we literally have to.
Like their window closed with this team.
It's shut. It's gone. It's Stu Gotts. See you later. John Cooper also signed an extension at the end of March.
That's true.
Boy, howdy,
well, they were
fun.
smart. They were extremely smart to ink Cooper before their long playoff run this year because he would have gotten a lot of money at the end of. Wait, what?
What are you getting? What are they saying?
They're saying that the Lightning are out.
What?
Yeah.
They are. Which, by the way, Fortune Cookie led us wrong, or we interpreted Fortune Cookie wrong when it said investigate new possibilities with friends. Now is the time. We really should have thought that was Columbus.
Oh man,
not Tampa Bay.
I will also say that I asked the question last week of if we should be scared of Columbus putting the pieces together now that the playoffs started, and Lyle told me no.
Well, listen, Lyle, when you're right 58% of the time, you're wrong 42% of the time, right?
It's fine. It's fine. No one
Just
listens to
math.
this.
No.
It's okay.
All right, so Tampa Bay, here's what they have going in the offseason, and they have a lot of offseason to do. They were literally the first team eliminated. First team in, first team out. You got to love it. They have 4 defensemen that are UFAs. Strawman, Colburn, Girardi, Ruda. Strawman, you could say, they might re-sign him. He's going to cost a lot. Braden Colburn, Stu Gotts, you're out of here. Dan Girardi, he's going to command some money.
Still?
Yeah. 34. He's going to be 35 at the end of the month. So you're going to have to be careful with that contract. Yeah.
Contract. Uh-oh.
Yeah. 1-year deals from here on out.
Uh-oh.
Colburn's going to be 35 next year. Strawman's going to be 33 in the summer. The only guys you have under contract, Hedman, Ryan McDonough, Mikhail Sergachev, who's still in his entry-level deal, and Eric Cernak, who's also still in his entry-level deal. There's that. Forward-wise, Cedric Paquette, restricted free agency with arbitration. Adam Ernie, restricted free agent with arbitration. Dominic Martel, restricted free agent with arbitration. And Braden Point, restricted free agent, no arbitration rights. So, Braden Point probably going to cost a little bit of change.
Yeah, he's going to get an upgrade.
As it stands right now, $73 million projected for the salary cap hit. I think it's going, what, to 82, 83 next year?
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been talking about. So it looks about 10-ish.
10?
Yeah.
So you're going to figure if you give Braden Point 5, you're stuck 5 for all these other players you need. At what point do you start trading Vasilevsky? At what point do you look at trading JT Miller? At what point does anybody want to take Mikhail Sergachev or Nikita Kucherov's $9.5 million and say that's a good investment?
I don't know. This team,
boy, do they paint themselves. Man, Steve Yzerman dumped at the right time.
yeah,
Oh,
right?
boy, did he leave.
Doesn't it now? It now seems a little premeditated, right? To kind of just be like, hey, I don't think this is gonna happen. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here before someone fires me.
Yeah, before they look at the books. That's gonna be an issue.
Yeah. And Yzerman's not there to like Jedi mind trick people anymore.
Nope. He's gonna be off to Detroit to do that.
So, hey, maybe he trades with the Lightning to get some of the players to Detroit.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be not collusion at all. So for Pittsburgh, what do you think? They came out today saying the only untouchable players are Malkin and Crosby.
Wow.
Everybody else is ready to go. Everybody else, we can go. So Crosby,
which is interesting because I would think that Malkin has kind of worn out his welcome in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I mean, he had another good season, right? When he wasn't swinging his stick at people, but he's still taking those dumb shit penalties.
And he's injured a lot, too. He's been much more injured recently than he has in the past. He still has 3 years at 9.5. Crosby's deal goes to, looks like 24, 25. So he's got 6 more years left. Malkin's also 32. I'd hate to bring that to effect. Zach Aston Reese, really the only forward. Matt Cullen, he can go year by year. Something called a Teddy Bluger. That sounds dirty.
God bless you.
Yeah, and Garrett Wilson. So their front line will stay intact if they want it to. Defensively, it looks like they'll stay intact too. Chris Letang still got 3 years left. Justin Schultz has got 1 more year left. Dumoulin, Oli Mata, Gabranson, Jack Johnson deal is really looking like shit. 3.25 for another 4 years. Go get him, kids. And then Matt Murray's got 1 year left before he's arbitration eligible. Got it, third time. Restricted free agent. So, boy, that's a mess. It's a little bit of a mess there.
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy that it's not the Caps.
Yes.
Because the Caps will have their own mess.
Oh, yeah, the Caps are going to have their own mess here in a bit. Let's. What say you about the Penguins? I mean, does this just need to be a Matt Murray and defensive fix? Matt Murray doesn't seem like a great goalie.
I don't know. I think that they're kind of all in on Matt Murray. I mean, they allowed M.A. Fleury to leave, right? And we figured out that they have a Casey DeSmith after him.
What's that?
And what's it? Tyson Jerry?
Tristan Jerry.
So I don't think they can get rid of Matt Murray. I don't think that, I mean, unless he continues along this line of getting hurt every 14th game, then I kind of think that they're like married to him. They have to keep him around. Maybe you get better defense, but maybe the issue is Mike Sullivan. Maybe it's time to get a new voice into the locker room that teaches him how to play defense.
Boy, that was quick.
You know, like I don't know. Maybe that's the way it is. Maybe 2 years from winning the Stanley Cup, it's time to move on to a new guy.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, man, how the tides have turned.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This would be a fantastic question to ask the Pope if we could get him on.
Oh, we should ask.
Now
the
that he
Pope.
has more free time, we should get him on
Yes.
during the playoffs.
It's kind of rude to say, but you're right. Also, I will say this, Johnny. I didn't make you privy to this.
Okay.
Bucks. I have
It's not on the rundown.
not on the rundown, not in life. I made a bet on the Caps Kane series
Oh no.
with our good friend David Michael, who is a comedian and longtime listener, first time caller.
Okay.
So we made a pact, and if the Canes win, he comes on for a guest spot, tell us why the Canes won, which is fine.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm like, that's cool, perfect, I love it.
Because I can dump him. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fine. And I think he'd be a little bit better and more sympathetic than the Section 328 guys. That they don't listen anyway. It's fine.
Yeah,
Second,
they're too into themselves.
exactly. No, not wrong. The them and Rust Cohen would be great together. The flip side, if the Caps win, I get to pick a topic that he has to write 5 minutes on for his next set of
Oh,
stand-up.
wow.
So
My God. Don't get him fired.
I, it's a comedian. They're hired to get. They're like head coaches in hockey. They're hired to get fired.
Oh. That could get aggressive and quickly.
Oh, trust me, I've already got a topic picked out.
Oh. Is it about getting punched in the face?
No,
All
Well,
right. Well, I mean, you should keep it a secret because we don't want to
Yeah.
jinx anything.
although he wished me a happy birthday. He says, "Hope it's soft. It's a lot easier than Shevchenko's jaw, or
Oh.
Svechnikov's jaw."
Shevchenko is
I keep
he is
going.
getting destroyed tonight.
Yeah, I know, right? I have to figure out who this fucker is.
Was he
Oh,
was he a
no.
Montreal Canadian?
No, you know what it is?
But
No, that's Kafelnikov. I thought it was a Sports Night episode. Like, I'm doing Sports Night.
oh, that
bits.
would have been awesome. That would have been fantastic if Shevchenko was on. No, unless we're talking about Andrei Shevchenko, I think he was a forward. He played for the
He was. Yeah, that's who I'm
Ukraine.
thinking of. Yeah, he played for Milan and Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Really?
Andrei
All right.
Shevchenko.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
who it
absolutely
is.
right.
Yeah, definitely, that's who it is.
My God,
He played for the Ukraine.
I'm not even
Ukraine
even a
is strong.
not even a soccer guy. The hell. Anyway, Svechnikov. There you go. Anyway, so that is that. All right. So, is there a precedent for hockey that you remember of just the team getting upset in the playoffs and then having a kind of Florida Marlins situation?
A fire
just-
sale?
Yeah, they just turn over their entire roster.
'Cause
I
not
can't
that I
think of
know
one
of in
offhand.
hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know of any in hockey. And so I did get a lot of questions about this, right? Because people are like, is Tampa considered the chokers of the Eastern Conference now that the Capitals won the playoffs won the Stanley Cup last year, blah 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 blah. And like, is this the worst loss in the history of the first round? And I was like, well, I seem to remember the Capitals losing to the Montreal Canadiens in 2010 when they won the President's Trophy and qualified for qualified for the playoffs in like late March. So like I think that there is
Well, first off, this is the first time the President's Trophy winner has been swept out of the first round.
that's true. That is true.
So
But I was not one to jump on the bandwagon of
fuck you.
I was not one to jump on the bandwagon of kicking the Lightning while they're down. Plus, because you're wearing skates, that hurts.
That's not great.
Yeah, no. Death by 1,000 cuts.
Mhm.
Did I tell you that I bought new skates?
No.
Yeah, I got a pair of Reebok pumps.
Nice.
The 5K.
Pump it up.
They were on sale. Well, not sale because I got a set of used ones from eBay, but I got an entire size bigger than the ones Mark gave me where my feet were asleep last year when we were
Nice.
skating around. So hopefully next time we go skating, I'll be able to feel my feet the whole time.
There it is. What fun is that?
So yeah, so I don't know. I just kind of refuse to have that happen, I guess, to kind of jump on the bandwagon of just kind of making fun of the Lightning because it could happen to any team at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, if this year taught us nothing, in the first week of the playoffs, it's that anyone can beat anyone in hockey. They're just when you put the top 16 teams into it. Yes. I'll finish my point and then come back to the chat. When you put the top 16 teams in the playoffs, the number 1 seed playing a quote unquote 8 seed doesn't mean anything anymore. There just isn't that wide gap, I don't think, between 1 and 8.
Yeah.
Kevin asked if we saw the Panarin handshake with Kucherov.
I did not. I saw it like Panarin was just like boys with him.
No, it was pretty good actually. For what I remember, they go to handshake and Panarin's like getting ready to give him like a high five-ish type of thing, and Kucherov like doesn't want to shake hands, and he just starts laughing, and then he like grabs him and hugs him.
There you go.
And I was like, oh,
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
it's messed up.
How
much more money is Bobrovsky and Panarin going to make this summer now?
Oh, baby. Especially Panarin. He was pretty good this playoff. You know who else? Oh, God damn it. You know who else has been really good?
Well, you're older now, Scotty.
I know, right? Jordan Eberle's been really good this playoff.
He has been. It's almost like he was like really high first round pick.
Exactly. It's like he was a first round pick ready to go. By the way, for if you're scoring at home or even if you're alone, yeah, the Tampa Bay Lightning first President's Trophy team to be swept out of the playoffs. The 7th President's Trophy team to be to not get past the first round. The last one being the Vancouver Canucks against the Los Angeles Kings. The Blackhawks lost in 91, the Blues lost in 2000, Red Wings lost in 06. Sharks lost in 09, Caps lost in 10, Canucks in 12, and now the Lightning in 19. So there you go.
It's one hell of a series. 19 games.
Amazing. Somehow they did it. Somehow they got swept out in 19 games. First to 10. All right, there we go. That's what we think about the upsets and what's going to happen afterwards. Tampa Bay in for a seismic change. Pittsburgh, probably not. Probably not.
They're just going to be another year older.
Exactly. Another year older. Lot more rest. That's for sure.
No hangover.
We'll no, absolutely not. Unless it's a world championship hangover.
Ooh. Does Stamkos and Crosby go to the world championships now?
If they do, just put Canada on there. You'll be fine on that little Mario Cup logo. Although I don't know, I can't say that. Canadian women's got freaking worked by Finland. Some suspensions. Nazem Kadri suspended for the rest of the first round for slamming Jake DeBrusk's head right upside the boards.
Yeah, he definitely he cross-checked him in the face, I think.
Yeah, that too. This is after DeBrusk kind of went wrong and went knee on knee with Kadri earlier in the game. So there's that. Joe Thornton was suspended 1 game for his hit to Thomas Nosek right in the head. San Jose down 3-1 because Martin Jones doesn't know how to stop a puck.
Baby shark. That was so good.
Some head coach news. The Los Angeles Kings have signed Todd McClellan to be their head coach.
Ooh, look at that.
So there you go.
Good on him.
Good fun times there. I'm sure Kovalchuk will love him. And the Philadelphia Flyers have recycled Alain Vigneault as their head coach.
Okay.
Because they don't like their young players playing, apparently.
That's smart of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter Hart.
Yeah, Carter Hart. Love, peace, and hair grease, brother. All right, Johnny, let's get to this thing here. So I didn't see it. I was working. The U.S. women beating Finland in a wild championship game.
Oh.
Things happen. The Finnish people scored a goal in their home rink, so they're celebrating. They're having a fun time. It goes upstairs.
Oh, it's insane.
5 hours later, they made a decision that was no goal. And then
And then they
apparently,
had to play 8.5 minutes left in the
yeah,
game.
and then US got a penalty out of that whole ordeal too somehow.
No, they got a penalty called on them, so the Finnish had a power play.
Right, that's what I meant. The US got called for a penalty. Sorry.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was
they still
insane.
they couldn't finish it, and then it goes to a shootout.
I was watching Tiger Woods, and then I was like, hey, I wonder how the women's world championship's going, and it's 1-1 at this point. So I watched the rest of the game, and then it goes to overtime, 4-on-4, 20-minute overtime, which is interesting. I like it. I like that at all. The a little bit of back and forth. Nora Ratu was fantastic. She is a great goalie. Well, I don't know why the U.S. always run into these like fantastic goalies from other countries.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a very Capitals effect.
Yeah, and then puck gets thrown on net. The U.S. goalie kind of juggles it a bit, goes to like catch it in their glove. The Finnish defenseman, I think, was for some reason near the play. Kind of runs into her a lot like Cristobal Huet got run into in Game 7 overtime against the Flyers in 2009.
There it is.
The puck is laying there, and Finnish forward, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, just puts it into a wide open net and starts skating down the ice in helmets and gloves and sticks. Oh my. And then all of a sudden, everybody just stops celebrating. Just stops, and they show They show the official in the penalty box with a headset on. I think we have a baseball coach coming in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's calling in for the lefty.
But then 12 minutes later is when the call actually gets made that it's no goal, and the place erupts angrily,
Nice.
and everybody's
sure.
booing people, and then it goes to a shootout.
As angry as the Finnish people can get. And we know one man who's an authority on Finnish anger. It's our own Sean P. O'Connor, videoless, calling from a tunnel.
Yeah,
Sean P. O'Connor.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing well. If I can figure this on, is it on? No. Do you hear me now?
We can hear you. We just can't. We just see your picture as the Matha head manager coach.
All right. Well, we got to figure that out. So I'm here working on this. So
We'll fix it on post.
I haven't figured it out.
It's fine. I'll Photoshop you in.
Okay, just Photoshop me in. No, it makes me look good. So hey guys, no, I'm doing well. Just figured I'd call in to do some Carolina bashing. Since I think the last time I wished Will ill on them, I don't think they made the playoffs after that point. And now
I don't think they did. I think you're right.
I think that was the last time when they clinched or whatever that Jo told us was going to happen, and that went totally in two different directions. So.
So Sean, we haven't spoken to you in what, maybe a year and a half.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, so we haven't got your thoughts on the Washington Capitals becoming Stanley Cup champions. Man, that was a thing.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and it's a small thing. They became champions on my second honeymoon. So
Okay.
even as a Cats fan, I waited 40 years and still couldn't freaking see it. So I know it happened. And I'm not begrudging in any way. Murphy's Law, it was going to happen. But it would have been nice to be through the parades and do all that stuff. So I'm trying to plan something for this June, and so that way I can at least I'll deal with winning it. I was in Vegas this September at the bar that Ovechkin decided to. There's a huge bar at New York. It's a big steakhouse, a huge Vegas Golden Knights bar. And Ovechkin decided to bring the whole Stanley Cup into that restaurant that night, and just partied like a rock star right there, ate a steak, and basically yelled at all the Vegas Knights fans. It was pretty epic, to say the least. So, I mean, again, if I could do that again, it'd be fantastic.
Perfect.
I'm
But-
fine with celebrating again.
Yeah, I'm glad with it. Yeah, let's do it again. Let's have a take 2. That'd be great.
I'm working on this, by the way. I'm not giving up on it. It's got to be an antivirus thing. Why it's not going out.
Do you need to go to Radio Shack and pick up any cords?
I might need a small to big. If you guys have one.
I have one. It's in my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found one the other day too.
I bet you have. You probably have small to bigs around your house, kind of like Chick-fil-A packets.
You know what's crazy is I have so many. I have boxes of wires that at points that I didn't get rid of. That I would love to just figure out what the hell's in the box.
Like why you still have them?
A, why I still have them, and B, well, I have them because at some point I think there's value in them. What value? I have no idea.
Are they copper wires?
Possibly. I think I have
There's
some
your value.
I think there's some WPOC wires still probably laying around somewhere.
Perfect.
With just the wires cut off and still has the quarters and a whole bunch of stuff like
That
that.
Lloyd Young snake is on it.
The WPSC mic flags.
Yes.
No, I don't remember getting any mic flags. Did you have mic flags?
We did have mic flags.
We had mic flags at one point, yes.
In Crofton.
Don't remember that.
When we first stole the studio.
No,
No, can't remember.
Can't
Can't picture it.
can't picture that. Not at all. Don't remember that.
It's a long time ago.
That's a
Yes,
long time ago.
This is really annoying me, by the way, because I'm looking for. Doesn't even look like I have antivirus up. I mean, it's crazy.
Mm.
And I got it. It's got a blue light. It's looking at me, so it's definitely working.
Is it plugged in?
Do you have tape over it?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
do you
have
have
tape
tape over it?
I don't have tape over it.
Is the setting connected to that video? Let's go to the settings bar. Looks like a little cog.
No, it seems pretty good.
Hmm.
I tried medium bandwidth. I tried the bandwidth. Maybe the bandwidth was an issue.
I don't think it's that.
That change anything?
No. Didn't,
Nope. Still dark screen.
You know what you need to do? You need to log into the message board and then contact tech support. And then I
Email
think they'll be able to help you. Yeah, email
I mean,
tech support.
Email tech support. That's the key to this whole.
Or for even better tech support, dial 1-877-913-9739. They'll get right on that for you.
They'll do that, and if you have a problem, they'll call you right back and ask you, "Did you turn the computer on?
Exactly.
Was your computer on?"
Turn it on. Do you have the latest Winamp? Okay.
Okay, no. All right. Just
All right. Good, because we don't use Winamp.
Who did you talk to? Who did you talk to that night? Chris Poisel? No. That's okay. That explains.
I found out his oldest kid's 16. That's how old we are.
It's kind of nuts.
Kind of weird.
I think I know where he was conceived.
Jesus,
Interesting.
that's weird.
I think there's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
Yes.
So how's the all-in broadcast monster machine going?
It's going slow but steady.
That's good.
Not a whole lot. The world doesn't really exist in streaming media that much.
No, go on.
Yeah. So.
But you were ahead of the time. That's why.
It's
Oh,
true.
we were definitely ahead of the time. There's no question about that. The what you can do now on the internet and what people I don't know how you want to call it are able to do for free is nuts.
Like this show.
You're telling us.
Yeah, I mean we've done a webcast or a podcast and people didn't even realize people did podcasts back then. So it's kind of nuts.
They still are worried about it. Still think it's wild.
Yeah, I'm working on my camera, Lyle. So it's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my
Well, we can't
my
add
problem.
ads in anyway nowadays. We never got tech support for that.
That's true. We never got a. Yeah, so Lyle could just come on because I
Yeah,
don't
we
need
can
a
just
spot.
jump Lyle in here now. And Lyle, ladies and gentlemen,
I thought he had intro music
he used to back in the day when we actually did have like
when he had a run in. I remember that.
When we had phone calls.
we had phone calls and we had to actually call them up and
Believe me, we had phone calls. I remember the bills. Believe me, I remember the bills.
They were all expenses.
yeah, business expense.
Mark is so late tonight that Sean showed up first.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
See?
Okay.
Oh, and speaking of
Oh.
the devil, here's the Mark call. and
I
he's
just
on the-
I
he's on
just
the
said
board.
Mark is so late tonight that Sean showed up. and you show up.
How about that?
Wow.
I
it's
can't
amazing.
figure out how to do my camera though, Mark. So
Well, you should call tech support. Email.
you've that joke's already happened.
Well,
You
We'll
missed
do it
that
again.
whole joke, buddy.
yeah, it's a shame. We get to hear it again.
Yeah, exactly. Replay.
There's a tech support there, but I don't think that's got anything to do with it.
No, I don't think they don't do anything. So we'll go around the. Sean, how do you think about the Penguins being eliminated so early?
Hold on 1 second. That do anything?
Sure didn't.
Nope.
Thought that might have done it. Fantastic. I went and decided to go to the steps down in DC and look for any Penguins fans that possibly would show up.
Kind of weird.
And there were just Republicans there. No Penguins.
Weird. Okay. No, that makes sense.
You didn't stand outside Pomani Brothers and wave your French fry laden sandwich?
No.
Did you go to Permane Brothers and then scrape the French fries off your sandwich because you're not an animal?
No, and, in my age, I've become more mature, so I don't like to really, now that we are the best team in the NHL, I don't like to kind of belittle the Penguins in any capacity. So I just enjoy the fact that they're just a normal team that gets swept in the round. So to a team that doesn't even have a home arena. So
Jesus Christ.
He's true though. He's true. How much?
Wrong.
I mean, quick question. Now that we're on that, series. How much is Islanders going back to Barclays that are going to affect them in the second round?
That's true.
A lot.
I think
I mean, here's the real question. I mean, can we really? And Lyle, this is going to offend you, but it's true.
Oh,
Can we really now talk that Sidney Crosby is not a total hockey player at this point? Because after the fight the other night with Ovechkin and 4 punches, there's no doubt in my mind Crosby could have never ever done that. He would have ran away so quick, and Ovechkin's the best. He's the best that's ever lived. Let's just call a spade. He knows how to win cups. He knows how to party.
he knows how to win cup.
Well, here's my question: Who won?
Hey, you went there, man. You went
Right,
there.
but who won a cup better than him?
Oh, he celebrated it back. I
That's
will
my
not argue
point.
that point with you at all. He
Yeah.
celebrated it
He
back.
changed
Absolutely.
rules. They can't even. They ended it. You can no longer do that. No more keg stands are allowed.
Yeah.
No more any of that stuff.
No
I mean,
more
it's not-
swimming it. No more swimming in the fountain, and in Vegas with the cup. No more of that.
I mean, the 2 Stanley Cup parties I went to, there were people still doing keg stands in June. It was nuts. I went to the one with the trainer for the Capitals, and everybody's doing keg stands. I mean, it's miraculous that thing even exists at this point.
Yeah. And it should,
It's crazy.
it should have gotten VD from that stripper years ago. When Nestle took it to the strip club. I'm surprised it's still hanging in there.
Mm.
Don't need to call Fleury that. It's not his fault.
Wow.
So
I
Sean
did
and
see a tweet that said that Alex Ovechkin was the best Canadian player in current year.
True.
Yeah, this is the funny part about it because I haven't seen CBC's coverage, but it's funny that Don Cherry now has to. There's no question he is rooting for the Capitals because the fact that Carolina could celebrate again at home is it might kill him at this point. So
if you're Svechnikov, you made a bad choice
man.
because Don Cherry is defending Alex Ovechkin.
Yes.
That's
yes.
how you know how bad your choice was.
Yes. And can I just say, I mean, I saw afterwards, I mean, there were some people who were getting after Ovi for that. Go, oh, you shouldn't have picked on a kid. Oh, the guy's just a kid. What was he doing? Okay, first of all, Svechnikov isn't a kid. Okay, he's 19. He's playing in the National Hockey League. He is bigger than most adult men, okay? And he's the guy who picked the fight. It's like, dude, you just learned a very hard lesson. If you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yes.
Okay?
That's why you never fight your dad.
Yeah. And now that's almost kind of like what this was, wasn't it? I mean, Ovi's 33.
Mhm.
and he's 19. Ovi had 40 pounds on him too.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, this had been building for a while, and Svechnikov just kept hooking and slashing and going at him, and finally Ovi just asked, he said, "You want to go?" And he said, "Yes." And it's just like, kid, you just learned a very, very
You know,
painful lesson.
if Sean Avery had this happen to him at a young age, we probably wouldn't be an asshole like he is now.
Oh, you got that right.
I mean,
you
honestly.
got that right. Yeah.
Uh,
He'd still be an asshole, but nothing like the monumental one. he
Sure,
would
no,
become.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
he would never make it
Some
to the
peop-
NHL.
Some people would just
Right.
have that gene. You know?
But here's
Yes.
my question, and Lyle, this is what didn't make sense to me.
Hmm.
So in the broadcast, all they kept talking about was how he idolized Ovechkin.
Mhm.
Okay, he idolized Ovechkin.
Never meet your heroes. A punch in the
now-
face.
Now, my point is Ovechkin's not that type of guy. Like
No.
if you idolize, I don't know,
Mike Tyson.
yeah, then you're gonna box Mike Tyson. I mean, it's Ovechkin. It was a skilled. Yeah, he played tough and he played physical, but it was clearly that he wanted to fight. I mean, it was clearly that it was a mutual thing, and that's what I don't understand about the whole thing is he seems like, okay, his skill was to get underneath somebody's skin, aka not Ovechkin. His skill is is not really to be aggressive or be physical. So again, the anti-aggressive. I don't get the whole I'm looking up to Ovechkin because I don't see that. Meaning, is he looking up to Ovechkin because he's a rich Russian? Maybe is that what he wants to be? I mean, that I don't see the hockey style, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's put this into golf maybe terms. Like just because a golfer isn't Tiger Woods and can't play, can't hit 350-yard drives every time and doesn't play with the same style as Tiger Woods doesn't mean that a young golfer can't idolize Tiger Woods.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but it means you don't idolize your game after him.
Well, I mean, he tried to, but not everybody can. I mean, listen, Svechnikov is a skilled scoring forward. I mean, you got to, he scored 2 goals in the first game of this series. He's a 20-goal scorer in his first season in the NHL. He's going to get better. I mean, he's not an Ovechkin because nobody's an Ovechkin. Ovechkin is a unique player, all of his own.
He's the greatest hockey player that ever lived, besides Wayne Gretzky. I get it.
He's the greatest goal scorer of all time. He's certainly the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. Oh, absolutely. Greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. Greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. Better than who?
Brett Hull?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. He's gonna eclipse Brett Hull's record. Brett Hull was never Brett Hull never won anything as a captain of the St. Louis Blues.
No, I get that, but I mean, when you say greatest goal scorer, I mean, Hull, Gartner, Bossy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You look at the time that that Ovechkin's playing in right now. I mean, if you had him playing back in the 80s, geez, this guy would have been potting 100 goals with that shot. You kidding me?
And with the goalie stuff. No, I agree with that.
Yeah. But the thing is, but Svechnikov, like most Russian kids, grew up idolizing. Ovechkin is a friggin' hockey god in Russia. He is. All the kids idolize themselves. It's like when I was a kid growing up, you idolized Bobby Orr, or you grew up in the 80s, you idolized either Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux. And for this generation, you either grew up idolizing Ovechkin or Crosby. So I mean, but like I said. Yeah, he idolized him growing up, and sure, and think obviously thought the world of him. But his job out there on the ice is obviously he felt that he had to try and part of his game I think is to kind of agitate a bit as well. I mean, yes, he can score, but as you said earlier, Sean, I think part of it too is he likes to kind of agitate a bit, and that's what he was doing with Ovechkin through the whole game. Now I don't know if that's the cockiness of youth. I don't know, what he was thinking, but again, you don't, you don't want to turn around and agitate to the point where the guy's going to turn around and ask you to go, because if he's going to ask you to go, you better be able to handle yourself. And obviously Svechnikov was not, because he got his clock clean and he learned a very valuable lesson. Thankfully, he's not seriously hurt. I don't think he's in the lineup tonight. No. I don't think
Tomorrow.
Let's play tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, it's tomorrow night.
But no,
So-
he's already out. He's in
yeah, he's
concussion
out for
protocol.
game 4, but they expect he'll be back for game 5. Supposedly, he's walking around fine and all that good stuff, but they're not going to rush him back into the lineup, and I don't blame them.
Here's the problem.
Mm.
They didn't show him Rocky 4. If they would have showed him Rocky 4,
Yeah, but
they would have known what happens to Apollo.
Sean, there's
don't mess
not
with
a
Russia.
there's no Rocky 4 in Russia.
That's my point.
Yeah, it ends at Rocky 3.
Yeah, because they don't want to see the Russian get his clock cleaned by
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa. Yeah,
And Rocky 5 didn't exist either. So
yeah.
Rocky 5 is horrible.
Oh god, that's the worst of those movies. The original Rocky is a great movie. It is a great movie. That was
I'll take-
before. It's before
I'll-
Sylvester Stallone, crawled up his own arse.
Yeah, but I'll take 2 before I took 1. 1 just took forever, I think, just because
that
you
was
didn't know who the character-
acting.
I understand that.
Stallone proved he could act. That was before he became sly and got all full of himself. I mean, back then. But yeah, the original Rocky is a great movie. Rocky 2 is pretty good. Rocky 3 is just pure entertainment because of the Mr. T angle. That's just pure
And
entertainment.
the Hulk Hogan angle.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Hey, that was the movie that launched the Hulkster.
Yep.
And Rocky 4, Rocky 5, horrible, and then
Rocky
Did you say
Balboa
Rocky
wasn't
4
bad.
and Rocky 4 is the best of them all.
no,
Oh,
Rocky 4
yeah.
is fucking horrible.
You just got to get rid of Apollo dying. After that, that movie's
I
gold.
think that's why I hate it. Yeah, Apollo dies.
That movie's gold. That movie's awesome.
As a time capsule of the 1980s, of which I grew up, and I know you grew up, Sean. Yes, it's a perfect movie of what the 80s was like. Yes.
The thing I will say also about that movie is there's a great, I think it's Deadspin might have done it, a great 30 for 30 about Rocky 4, which is kind of funny to watch if you've ever seen. It's worth the thing of them breaking it down like it's a real
Is
boxing match.
that on Deadspin? You said?
I think it's on Deadspin. You can
Oh,
find it.
that'd be Okay, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a wormhole that'll definitely take you down 10 or 15 minutes of your life.
Well, I better schedule that in for tomorrow.
Yeah, pencil that into your planner there.
10:50.
Yeah.
I know, we've seen it before. I wasn't joking.
10:30. Deadspin.
I think it's Deadspin. I'm almost positive. It might be a
Question
Bleacher
mark.
Report.
Question
Or
mark.
Bleacher
That's it.
Report.
Question mark.
Rocky 4. Or BR. My former employer. Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one.
Nothing important.
Okay, perfect.
Don't have a camera still, so.
No, we see this. Lyle,
Don't
your
work on
thoughts?
that right now.
All right, do that. Lyle, what your thoughts on the Penguins and the Tampa Bay Lightning being oops upside the head?
Well, that fucked
Well,
up
you have more
everybody's
time on your
playoff
hands.
bracket.
You were covering that Columbus Tampa Bay series, so now you got a little bit more time on your hands.
Yeah, a little bit more. It's funny because tomorrow, actually, I'm doing up a piece as well for featured, basically kind of what happened to the Lightning.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of an autopsy.
By the
well,
way, it was College Humor who did the Rocky 430.
Hey,
excellent,
thank
even
you.
better. College humor.
Thank
Even
Do you
better.
have the link? You can just send it
I
to
can
Lyle.
just send you the link.
Yeah,
Lyle.
send me the link, please, and thank
just
you
send
very
you the
much.
link.
He's like,
and
it's college humor. Go look for it yourself.
because I've
But
already
humor
no,
without,
send me the-
no, because I have to do this because he'll spell humor with a U and he'll screw it up completely.
Exactly.
true.
Yeah, that Canadian spelling, I'll fuck it up, and then
That's
I won't
probably
be
a
able to find
porn
it.
site.
Be like,
yeah,
Scotty freaking low.
definitely a porn site.
Even better.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
Go check it out. College
And it won't-
humor.
and it
Whoa!
won't- And it won't take me 15 minutes to watch it. Oh,
Hey. And it's only
Um,
5 minutes, so it could anyway.
Yeah, but it's 15 minutes when you watch it 3 times.
yeah,
That's true.
exactly, because that's what I'll do. I gotta say, I wasn't that surprised that the Islanders upset the Penguins.
They were
Just
they were the top seed. How is that an upset? I guess,
Yeah,
is the question,
but
too.
yeah, but the thing was though, but they were still favored. If you looked at most of the people who did predictions for this, I mean, they were still giving the nod to the Penguins just because of their experience and
You did, Lyle.
basically
You gave
because
him a
the-
nod to the experience.
Oh, I gave them a nod to
You know who
experience, but
didn't?
I wasn't the only one.
You know who didn't? Fortune
You.
Cookie didn't. The fortune cookie didn't.
Ah,
I did.
anyway.
I gave a nod to their experience, and I don't trust
Okay.
in Robert Leonard. But the fortune cookie gave the New York Islanders
you
the
go.
nod.
But anyway, but yeah, the Lightning fall into the Jackets. That was a shocker, and of course, that's like I said. Everybody now is going, "What happened?" And there was a lot of different reasons. Honestly though, I think you can trace this back to two things. One is they never really faced any real adversity this season. Winning 62 of 82 games in a regular season and tying an NHL record and walking away with the President's Trophy weeks before the end of the season will kind of do that to you psychologically. And they started getting in some bad habits during the final 4 weeks of the regular season. There was in the last dozen games of the regular season, they gave up almost 40 goals. That's a hell of a lot for a team that had the 7th best goals against, the best penalty killing. You've got a goaltender in Vasilevsky who was a Vezina finalist last season and could be one again this year. So they were kind of leaking oil a bit coming into this series, but even so, they still had the talent to do it. I think that just that lack of any kind of real adversity over the course of a season, the kind of fact that everybody was talking about you, that this was your year, that you were so dominant, something that was so rare, you were like a unicorn, something so rare to see in the salary cap era, a team that's that dominant. I think also a bit of complacency came in there too. I mean, after they lost the first game, which they were leading 3-0, they had the attitude of, well, we let that game get away from us. And to be fair, they did. But the whole attitude kind of seemed to be sort of, yeah, we let that game get away from us. We won't make that mistake again. And then they kept making that mistake.
But don't you think the team that wins the President's Cup should say that? I mean, I get it. I get it in the back door that they go, okay, we need to get this tight or we need to get that tight. But getting swept at home. I mean, the Caps got swept, obviously on the road last year, but they got swept in the first 2 games. I think a good team is able to do that. What I thought was ironic was they never had the button to kind of just say, okay, you know what, you guys, we're just going to turn it on now. I mean, but I think it's ironic that they were swept. The fact that they got beat, I agree with, but the fact that they couldn't turn on a switch and say, you know what, we're gonna find our identity. But I think you would probably agree with this more than anybody. Columbus is a team that went for it at the trade deadline.
Yes,
and nobody talked about this when they were picking X, Y, and Z. But this is a team that made a path and said we're going to go for a cup this year. And the fact that this Columbus team is not an 8 seed in my mind, because the team that is the 8 seed is the team that played the whole year, not the team that got traded and after the trade line was playing better hockey and moving towards in this direction. It's kind of like the wild card in baseball. The team is always the team you don't want to play, the team that barely gets in, because normally they're hot. And I think I'm shocked that they didn't have a puncher's chance. I blame coaching in that respect. I mean, that's big time a coaching mistake right there.
Well, I think that, to be fair, yeah, Cooper got kind of out-coached there by Tortorella. But by the same token, though, when you talk about you were surprised that there wasn't a switch they could flip, they were used to down the stretch. They had played several games where they had to come from behind to win. And I think that, even though I think that kind of masked the problems that they were having. Now, this is the benefit of hindsight, but I mean, to be fair also, and toot my own horn a little bit, I was among several other people who noted that, but they kind of gave up a lot of goals down the stretch, and they were having to, kind of battle back, to win some of these games. And I think that kind of covered over some of the problems that they were having, because I think what they were seeing was, well, we can always come back. It doesn't matter if we're down 2 goals or 3 goals. We can always come back. Did we just lose him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stone's gone.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Back.
There he is. He's back. But, so I think that they just got so used to being able to win games. Oh, there he is.
Turn yourself sideways, Sean.
Turn yourself sideways, buddy.
Hey,
Yeah,
Tom
we get to see
O'Connor,
him.
everybody.
So just to finish up my thought real quick, they were so used to kind of turning on the switch when they had to come from behind in some of those games down the stretch that I think that they just expected that they would. And when it wasn't happening, goes back to what I was saying about they hadn't faced any real adversity. They really looked flustered. Like it was like they didn't know what to do. So I just think it was a combination. I think kind of the mental aspect of it that, too much success bred a complacency. They hadn't faced any real adversity. And when they finally did, and that's not taking anything away from the Blue Jackets because they played a hell of a series. They played a hell of a series against the best team in the league. And to be fair, the Jackets, it wasn't until the last 2.5 weeks of the regular season that they finally got it together and won 7 of 8. Because without doing that, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs until the second last day of the regular season. They went on a tear and won 7 of 8, and that saved their bacon. So they did come into this series hot, but so did the Lightning because they'd won 9 of their last 12. So if you go by that, by pure talent alone, the Lightning should have won, but the Blue Jackets, they wanted it more. They wanted it more.
How does this long layoff affect the Blue Jackets? Is this good or bad for them? Because I wonder that the emotion they've been playing on the last weeks of the season going into the playoffs kind of fueled them for this one. Is the long layoff going to hinder them in any bit?
Well, that's where it's going to come down to Tortorella to keep these guys motivated. Because you're right, that's an excellent point. Because it's going to be a while until they face off. It's either going to be the Leafs or the Bruins, and that'll be probably next Wednesday or Thursday when the next round starts again. So that's a long layoff.
Here's my comment to that, Scotty.
Okay, Sean.
It's going to hurt them in round 2 because I think right now they want to play anybody. I think that they don't care who they play. But if they are able to get through round two, it's going to be a huge help.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good
point.
Is it?
Yep.
If they can get through this, I mean, one of the unique things that I always look at playoffs when people talk about it is, in the NHL, which people don't realize because it's different than any other playoff system, you play every other day for a half a month, 14 days, and you're only halfway through the playoffs. That on your body, that's a grind. To be able to win a cup really has very little. There was a study talking about why the NHL gets worse. I think it was on Colin Cowherd. Gets worse as the playoffs go on. The first rounds are amazing. They're great games. They go to overtime, but as the playoffs go, you start seeing less of the 2-1 overtime games and less of this. And it's merely, in my opinion, it's because of injuries and wear and tear that one side just ends up breaking down at a series, whereas that's, I think, the unique part of this is the Columbus players are playing so well in their systems and everything's clicking. They're not hitting posts. Things are bouncing their way that they want to get on the ice right away. But their bodies are definitely saying, look, if we get to the cup or they're going to revel in having the days off. I mean, there's no, this playoffs is so hard to play when you have to play 7-game series. I mean, how many times have we watched people win 7-game series back-to-back series? It's very rare. Normally it's a 6 or a 7 and you're able to go. But very rarely do you see somebody win a dramatic game 7 and don't take something off the next round.
Yeah.
Mark's not a big proponent of the 6 games. He doesn't like people having 6. He can't defend himself because he's not here. But he doesn't want people to pick another number than 6 games. There's that. So Tampa down, Penguins down. Hooray! Everyone's now. If the Leafs go down, I'd be a happy man, and I can watch the playoffs regardless of what happens and move on from there.
How can you not want the Leafs to be in as a hockey fan?
Because fuck Toronto.
No, but I'm serious. I mean, look, I don't care what anybody says.
Because Toronto fans are the Pittsburgh fans of Canada.
Great. I don't care about
annoying
that.
twats who live near a dead steel town.
How?
That should be a bumper sticker.
That's my campaign for 2020.
Right, but except for the Caps being in it, you can't have a sport that their attention comes from Canada that has Washington and Vegas in the cup. You need a Canadian. Vancouver last year, what saved that whole run of the playoffs was Winnipeg having a run there at the end. You don't have Pittsburgh. You had the Caps going through, which was a unique story, but Winnipeg was a big part of the interest in the cup last year. And I as a fan, look, I don't want to play Toronto. I think Toronto's a really scary hockey team when they decide, as a Cap fan. But that being said, I think Canadian teams, you know my theory on this, there should be a Canadian division to guarantee somebody in the semifinals every single year, because it's huge for this sport. You just can't survive with half your base not caring about it. And not, I wouldn't even say half your base, probably 75% of your base is the Canadian audience.
Well, there's no question. I mean, look, I mean, once all the Canadian teams are eliminated, I mean, the ratings go down, unless it's Boston or
That's
Chicago, like any of the original six or the Rangers, sometimes Penguins, sometimes Flyers, but normally it's, if it's the Rangers, Bruins, or the Blackhawks are in the final. Well, then the ratings here in Canada usually stay up because there's quite a fair amount of fans for those clubs in this country. But even so, they still plummet, after the last Canadian team is gone, So, to your point, you're right. But again, it's 7 Canadian teams against 24 American ones now. So, draft better, Canada. Draft and develop better.
Yeah. And what do I care about Canadians in the U.S. ratings? I don't give a shit. They're not plummeting. They're not watching NBCSN like everyone else isn't. Like, that doesn't matter.
What? Had to watch my
you're not,
TV on Monday night.
I had to watch Johnny's TV because Sling doesn't have CNBC unless I want to pay $10 extra a month. But fuck that.
Well,
I get my financial news elsewhere.
Yeah, you guys aren't delighted by the commentary of Pierre Maguire and Mike Milbury? Come on.
Well, no, it's CNBC Live.
That's insightful
They got it on financial channels, for fuck's sakes. I don't need to watch financial channels.
I really hope that the guy from Mad Money was on. I hope he was between the glass. I would love if Jim
Cramer was doing color commentary. I want the actual Dow Jones bar going by as the game is going to see whose stock is plummeting
on
in the
draft. Bottom line.
Yes.
I don't want scores.
I want Jesus. I'm paying attention to this game here.
How's my Apple stock doing?
Exactly. How's that Sirius stock going for me? Oh no.
Take an Uber.
Yeah. Get that IPO, boys. Coaching changes, Lyle.
Mm-hmm.
The Todd McClellan's going to LA.
No surprise there. No surprise there. He's
Alain Vigneault being recycled again into Philadelphia.
I don't understand some of the vitriol that the Flyers are getting for that hire.
It's Philly.
Well, yeah, exactly. They wanted Coach Q. They wanted Quenneville. They couldn't get Quenneville, and now some of them have a suck on. Alain Vigneault, he did very well at every team that he has coached. He was a coach. He was an Adams finalist with the Montreal Canadiens in 1998. He took the Vancouver Canucks to the President's Trophy and Stanley Cup final. All right. He took the New York Rangers to the Stanley Cup final. Now, the reason those teams didn't win wasn't because of it wasn't anything that he did.
Henrik Lundqvist is terrible. You can say it, Lyle.
No. Henrik Lundqvist is great.
He's the Dan Marino of the NHL.
The lack of depth that was in front of him when they were going up against the Kings was the issue. But the bottom line here is Alain Vigneault is a very good coach. He won Coach of the Year in 2007 with Vancouver. This is a proven guy with a proven track record. He's going to turn that team around. So for the people, there's this talk. Oh, but he doesn't work well with young players. Jesus, talk to the people who played for him in Montreal. Talk to people who played for him in Vancouver. When he took over in Vancouver, that was a lot of young players that were coming up into their system. Guys like Bieksa, guys like the Sedins were just starting to come into their own at that point. This was when he took over. This was still like Marcus Naslund country, for God's sake. You know,
Taste
so it was just the
flavor.
Sedins were just starting to come into their own at that point. You know, Kevin Bieksa was just starting to come into his own. You know, they just got Bobby Lou, and he was finally starting to prove to everybody, hey, look, I can be a really, you know, I can really do things with a great team in front of me. You know, so don't sit down and say, oh, he doesn't work well with young players. Yeah, he can. You know, and they seem to forget that, you know, oh, it didn't do well with the Rangers. Jesus, didn't Chris Kreider play for him? Yeah, pretty sure he did. He was a young player. I seem to recall him playing very well in the 2014 playoffs. So this whole thing is kind of baseless. It's just, again, you know, Flyers fans there were some Flyers fans who wanted to get Quenneville, and now they couldn't get him, so they got a big suck on. And I didn't want Vigneault. Vigneault was just second best. It's like,
Well,
I think they'll be changing their tune next season.
they kind of missed a prime opportunity though with this coaching hire, because what they should have done was walked Gritty out behind and everybody been like, oh look, it's Gritty, and then Gritty takes his head off and it's Alan Vigneault, and everybody
Yeah.
loves him at that point, right?
Exactly.
Because they're like, Gritty's the
True.
greatest mascot ever, and they missed it because
Yeah.
they just brought Vigneault out by himself.
Right,
But
it's
see,
true.
yeah, but see, they would have looked at it as though that was a cheap stunt, and I'm like, yes, exactly. It
And
was a
that
cheap
would have been
stunt.
the
Everybody
beauty
would have
of
loved it. You're right.
I was gonna say
Everybody
that's the
would've
gimmick
loved
that Gritty does. Gritty does
Yes.
cheap stunts.
it.
That's
Yes.
Philadelphia. They're cheap stunt all over the place. That's why
That's
they
not
hired-
wrong.
Yeah,
Not
that's-
wrong.
Yeah. Philadelphia
But the-
Flyers. The motto of the Philadelphia Flyers. Hey, at least our fans don't eat horse poop.
What is that?
But you know, the thing I'll say about this, as far as a hire for the Flyers, I mean, the Flyers stink because of their talent. I don't think the coaching was the problem. I mean, they needed to draft better, and they didn't.
Oh,
have
they
the
did
talent.
draft well. Are you kidding? They
Eventually they
drafted
did.
very well. The
But
problem
that's
was Ron Hextall. The problem
that's
was Ron Hextall, their previous GM, wouldn't trade to do anything to fix their immediate needs. He was awash in young talent. He had plenty of cap space, but he wouldn't spend it and he wouldn't trade it. He was absolutely adamant. I mean, with the exception of James Van Riemsdyk, that was a good signing. But for the most part, he would not budge to bring in immediate help in season when it was clear his team needed it, and that was his downfall.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get that, but I guess my point of it is the reason they haven't been successful is because they have drafted well, but it was so bad for a while, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Like they're young. It's like
inexperienced.
yeah, exactly. And so, and I get it. You can get a coach that can create a system and help that, but I think anybody they bring in at this point, because of what they have in place, is going to be very successful.
Mhm.
I mean, they have the pieces to be successful.
Yes.
As long as they don't do something stupid and start, giving up on players. I mean, that's really, and the Flyers in Philadelphia itself are a town that'll give up on people.
Yeah, so I mean, they shouldn't give up on guys like Gostisbehere. You start hearing his name floating in trade rumors, and I'm like, a bit premature to go and do that. They got a shit ton of cap space this year. I mean, go out and see what you can get in free agency. You know, maybe you can bring in an Erik Karlsson. Maybe you could tempt Artemi Panarin to come to your team. You know, I don't think Panarin's I don't think that he's a real need for them up front. They need an experienced defenseman, a really experienced top two guy, but I think they could use a second line center more than they could use a winger like Panarin. But I just think they need to, this year you got the cap space, go and spend it, go and spend it. Maybe target a team that's looking to dump salary that's got a really good player they're willing to give up, maybe go that route.
You always look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They need money to shed.
Maybe you can get somebody like JT Miller.
There you go. Or TJ Miller. I think he'd be a great comic relief on that team.
Well, that brings up a point. Do the Lightning implode after this?
No, I don't think they implode, but there's going to be some changes right off the bat on their blue line because Dan Girardi, Braden Coburn, and Anton Strawman, they're all in their 30s. Their best years are behind them, and they're all unrestricted free agents this summer. I'll be very surprised if any of them are back. So, but they've got like $73 million already invested in 16 players. Braden Point is going to get paid because he's coming off a 94-point season. Now, I expect that he'll accept less than market value because, hey, that's what all lightning stars do, because you're living in tax-free Tampa where it's sunny
It's
all
true.
day. So, but even so, even if you assume that he gets, let's say he decides to be really generous and accepts even $5 million a season, which he won't. That's still not going to leave enough money to address the big holes they're going to have on their blue line. So you've got to free up some cap space. And how do you do that? Well, you can try and trade Ryan Callahan, but he's 34. Best years are behind him. He's got $5.8 million. So I think that's a contract buyout, unless you ship him off to a team that needs to reach the cap floor. Hello, Ottawa. And package, a young player or a young prospect in there with it to take him completely off your books. But I think a guy like JT Miller, I think he gets traded because his no trade clause kicks in on July 1st. So they can move him before then, and I think that's the guy who can move. That's $5.25 million off your books. They could move Yanni Gourde. He's in the same boat, but they re-signed him in November, and I don't think that they would have re-signed him just to turn around 6 months later and trade him. I think he's younger, and I think they still see him as a key piece. So, and he came up in their system too. So there's kind of that bond, if you will. But yeah, they're going to have to shed a bit of salary if they're going to be able to kind of bring in some blue line depth there.
What do you think about the playoffs so far, Lyle? What do you like? What do you dislike?
Well, my same old bugaboo as always, the shitty officiating in some of these games. There's some games the officiating is really good, and then you get games like Game 2 of Toronto-Boston and last night's game between the Islanders and Penguins, where the officiating was a disgrace. It was a friggin' disgrace. There were
Washington, Carolina, Game 3.
That works too. Yeah, that one works too. There's some games that, as I said, you can tell the difference in the officiating. But in those 3 games that we just mentioned, there were obvious infractions that went uncalled. There were some penalty calls that had the players were looking at each other like, "What? Who's he calling? Me? You? Like, who's he calling? And what's it for?" They've got to get some consistency here. It's like, Jesus, why is it that every time the friggin' playoffs start, it's like, okay, now we're going to throw the rule book out and we're going to come up with our playoff rule book, which is we'll call everything in the first period, we'll call less in the second, nothing in the third, and that's going to be, and then absolutely nothing.
That's what makes it
overtime.
hard for the referees, though, because they don't really have a whole lot of time to learn the new playbook. Or rule book. I mean, it goes right from the regular season rule book to the playoff rule book, and I'm sure that they have a test that they have to take, probably a written test. But it just is
certainly not an eye chart.
Extremely hard to pick up that many rule changes in 2 days. So I'm kind of on the referee side on this one.
Hey, Sean, somebody wanted to say hi.
Hey, John. How are you?
Hello,
hey, John. Hey, Waz.
Hey, Mama P.
Waz's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Waz.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Happy birthday,
I'm
Scotty.
well, thank you. Sorry to mess up your show, Lyle.
Are you kidding me?
This is the first time Lyle's met my mom.
Yes, the first
Yes,
time I
it
met
is.
you. Yes. Hello.
Hello. Good to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you for calling it my show. Yes.
You were
She's listening
talking.
An hour.
You were talking when I was there. So.
Yeah. I tend to rattle on.
Oh, you're fine, Lyle.
Sounds
Doing
good.
great.
Well, good to see you guys. It's
Good
been
to
a
see
while.
you too.
Put Mark back on.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There she goes.
She's a delight.
Mama Patanzo.
Yeah.
Doing great. In the rare appearance.
At Mark's house, no less. I guess she's
Yeah,
watching
exactly.
the kid.
It's kind of weird. I guess
Yeah.
so. A good
Mark
old
is the
Sterling.
favorite. See
Well, obviously.
Well, he's got a child,
At least he had
and
it.
he's married.
I'm saying.
But you have your own house.
He has his own house too.
Shit, damn
Yeah,
it.
but you had your own first.
Well, that's that.
True.
I'll be near
see?
your house. I'll be
Michael,
near your house
I
tomorrow,
have no-
Johnny.
This
Really? Are
doesn't-
you going to the Steak and Shake?
No, we played a Rundle twice tomorrow. At 10
Oh.
and 10 and 1.
Is a Rundle near you?
What?
Johnny?
Hold on. Did you say you play at 10 and 1
Yep,
on
10
a
a.m.
Thursday?
10 a.m. and 1 p.m.
How does that happen?
Well,
You show up at 8:30 and the umpire says, play ball
it's
at
Holy
10.
Week. You're off. It's fine.
Oh,
I
everyone's
was
off for
gonna say,
Holy
yeah.
Week.
Yes, it's holy, except the Catholic schools. We have to go to school.
Yes,
So-
obviously, because you have to learn more about how Jesus died.
Yeah.
'Cause it's the same way every year.
and
Spoilers.
and the miracle that Notre Dame's wooden thing did not collapse in a fire.
That's
Oh, yeah.
oh, that was awful.
Wow. Well, it's a wooden steeple, so
That's
it's not
true.
gonna collapse. It's
Yeah.
gonna burn up.
That's true.
Like,
it
it's
did.
not
It did.
steel. Steel collapses.
Right.
Yeah.
Wood just
Burns.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
But
True.
one, of my, one of my favorite things about that whole thing, and by the way, I mean, this
Did you
this is
say
a world
favorite
famous
thing?
this is a world famous landmark. That
One of
burned
the favorite things of this burning church. Go.
Well, yes, exactly. One of my favorite things.
Hold on,
about a burning church.
Alabama's on the line. Go.
Not that I have anything against cancer. Yeah. Right, Sean?
I do. It cost us a damn season that year. Damn
But it was something. But
jerseys.
Those
But
damn
what-
stickers.
somebody would floated this meme around Facebook that showed, like, of course, that gold cross which didn't burn, right? And they tried to cite that as an example of God's presence. And it's like, no, that's an example of science, because gold actually burns at a much higher temperature
Yeah, it's
than
metal.
wood.
Fine.
It doesn't
fine.
burn.
Hold on, and can we just talk
Oh,
about the
gold will
wonders?
burn, but it burns at a much higher temperature, and then just
Sure,
melts.
let's. Jesus works in mysterious ways. We get it. The point is this: the wonders that are Sean Quest. Now, Sean said that Arundel High School's near Johnny.
It
Uh-huh.
is.
I don't know.
Well, okay,
Six-
so Arundel High School is nearer to my house than Sean is.
That's fair. But see, I would think that Spalding. He'd say they're playing at Spalding.
No, I
Then
would
I'd be
have
like,
expected. I
Spalding
would have
is definitely
expected this
closer.
call if he was at Spalding.
yes.
Yeah.
I could walk
Spalding-
there.
Right. But it's close. It's not far away. It's
I mean,
less than
Old
10
Mill's even closer than Arundel.
Old
but
Mill is
yes, I
closer
get it.
too.
It's Arundel is closer than Piney Orchard,
Yes.
Just barely. It looks by about a couple miles.
like an inch or two.
Yeah, an inch or two.
Something
About
like
this
that.
much closer. All right, so Johnny's gonna be taking video for all in broadcasting of the Arundel DeMatha game.
No, I have
Good
to
know.
work like
What?
a normal
He has to
person
work. Wait,
tomorrow.
Oh,
Actually, I would enjoy. Maybe I'll just take off work now and go. Sorry, I have to run some video tomorrow. I can't work at the hospital.
I don't know if you want to do that.
I asked Sean how
fine.
the season was going, and he said it's going.
It's
oh
good.
God!
We lost.
You're not Tom Amansky, are you? It's no back to back.
Well, back to back. We have one in 4 years, so it's not.
Well, I
back
don't
to
know.
back. No, I mean it's we have two very talented kids. We have a chance of one kid being the United States national catcher.
Oh,
We have another kid that's going to get drafted in the top 60 picks of next year's draft.
Ooh.
wow!
The problem is the kid that's going to get drafted in the top 60 picks dropped his cell phone on the ground and fell out of bed and tore his labrum in his shoulder.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
man!
Is that better or worse than pancakes?
It's pretty crazy.
Is that better or worse than when Sean Alexander hurt himself making a sandwich?
I think when you have a kid in high school throwing 94 miles an hour, it's worse.
Oof.
Oh, but hold on. He can be like Henry Rowengartner and get faster.
Well,
Yes.
it's his other arm, so it's
Oh.
it is what it is.
Oh, it's
But
not
no,
throwing arm. Then fucking get up there and pitch, kid. Jesus.
He already
Yeah.
had surgery, dude.
Show
Wow.
him pictures of Jim Abbott and get out there.
Motivational, right? Guys are nuts.
I'm sorry.
Some things never change, eh,
I'm just
Sean?
saying.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Well, all right. Silver lining. It was his non-throwing arm, so he'll be able to get back out there.
Yes, he'll be able to sign the $1 million check in a year.
Yeah, because he
Yes.
and he just needs a couple fingers to sign that. Like he doesn't need to use his whole arm. It's just in the wrist. As long as he doesn't break his wrist, he's fine.
Guys, remember, top 60 pick in the draft is a signing bonus somewhere around 3.5 to 4.5.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and you get 15% as a finder's fee. That's great.
I wish. I wish.
I got that type of signing bonus when I got my new job.
Yeah, shit. If that was true, Norton would be retired. But oh wait,
We need the orb for that one.
Yes, we've gone from orb to phone apps and fortune cookies. Sean, you'd be proud of us.
Oh man, yeah. 2-year-old
legit-
fortune cookies at that.
Yeah, legit 2-year-old fortune cookies.
And we had the 200.
Thank you, Amazon, for the fortune cookies. You're too kind.
Yeah, the 200-point swing was this week, Sean. You're right.
You're right,
knew that.
Sean. It was.
I took Vancouver. Just
Yeah,
remember
you
that.
did. Nope, you took Vancouver University. Sadly, they did not make the NCAA's.
Yeah. Darn it.
I know. It's 75th straight year. Very odd. You would think that they would somehow break through.
By the way, I will say something.
But
That
you've said a lot.
event has gotten worse and worse and worse as far as publicity. It really.
You're not wrong.
They've
You're
really
absolutely
done.
not wrong.
They've done a real. At some point when it was in Washington, I kind of was like, you know what? They're actually doing a pretty good job, and they're promoting college hockey. Now it is shit. It's in the middle of basketball tournaments I've never heard of. They have other sports on that you can't find a schedule. You can't find anything. And the fact that they have guys that are in the NHL a lot of times in the next year, it makes the only thing that makes sense to me is it's because ESPN doesn't have an NHL contract.
First off, in the next year, Kale McCarr won the Hobie, was in the championship game, and then played for Colorado, all within a 72-hour span.
And scored his first NHL
scored his
goal.
first goal. Although it's against Mike Smith, so I don't know if it counts. So
no, but my point is how are you not marketing that again?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, agreed. Yep.
NHL Network take it over. Stop letting ESPN.
Well, let NBC take it over. I don't understand why NCAA has such a hard on for taking all the sports for ESPN. It would do them better, because I do remember seeing in when I lived in the wonderful tundra of Canada, that there was times where there's more NCAAs on in TSN like 78 and TSN 79. That's great, but yeah, in the US. Even here in North Dakota, there wasn't really much of a buzz. Of course, they weren't in the tournament, but still, you got to have some kind of affinity for college sports, and it's not there anymore for hockey. Maybe it's because there's not that many big names in college hockey anymore. You don't have your Jack Eichels, you don't have your Paul Karius.
But the reason the majority of people watch college sports is either they
Betting.
went to school there,
Oh.
betting. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I've said that for years. You know that. I'm all for the reason football is the most popular sport in the country is because of gambling. It's not because people love football. You know, they love college football, as a matter of fact, more than they do the NFL. But I guess my point about it is kind of going back to 30 minutes ago about Canadian hockey teams. NHL needs to understand that if it's going to be a significant sport in this country, it's all about marketing, and it's not about just marketing the NHL. It's about marketing the playoffs and doing what they're doing, and it's fantastic. But you look at it, you're on stations that nobody's even looking at. I mean, who thinks of CNBC as a place to look for a hockey game?
Yeah.
I mean, I the other night I'm going through, I hit CNN next. I was like, hockey game? What's it on? Why here? Like, I'm trying to watch Deal or No Deal. I don't want to watch hockey. Like, what's going on?
That's
Tuesday
like
night.
yeah.
Let's
10 years ago, it was on the Outdoor Living Network.
right.
With
Right.
fish racing.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's all about the money and this and that. But how much are they really getting to be there? I mean, is that NBC deal that great that it's got to go just on the NBC networks? Is that what it's about?
Well, at this point, Sean, how much more money would they get from another outlet like ESPN? I think that the fact that they're on CNBC and NBC and MSNBC and whatever other NBCs, right? All the regional networks are switching over to NBC affiliates. It seems like at least a lot of them are already. So what would ESPN or another major outlet be able to provide the NHL in terms of exposure that they're not already getting?
And for context, $200 million a season for NBC and the NHL.
But so I do kind of agree with Sean in that, with the respect that I think that like college hockey being on NBC Sports would help out, because then NBC Sports would market college hockey as well as the NHL.
That's my point.
Because you kind of have to have the synergy between the two going at some point. You need to start. So these guys like Cale McCarr, right?
Yep.
If you didn't follow college hockey, you had no idea who he was. And then he played last night and you're like, oh, cool. This guy scored his first NHL goal, but also then just won the Hobie Baker 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's the deal with that. And understand this. The NHL Scouting Bureau is by far the best scouting bureau of any professional sport. I mean, you look at the guys that are drafted 1-1 or 1-2. they are bona fide superstars. Go down the list.
Mhm.
You look at the NBA guys, hit or misses. You look at Major League Baseball, that's a joke. You could laugh at the guys that are drafted 1-1 that haven't even made it into the big leagues. They're in the minor leagues. So the fact, NFL, same deal. The NHL, by far, in their scouting bureau, does a fantastic job of identifying who the best guys are, and they end up being the guys that need it. But yet, I don't know if they don't pass that information along or they don't think that that's important. But look at the track record between that sport and the other three major sports, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even close. Crosby, where was he drafted? 1-1. Ovechkin, 1-1. Go down the list. Matthews. They don't miss. Their superstars are the guys drafted. Yet you go to any other sport, and it's a crapshoot.
Yeah. And and to your point about the synergy, I mean, here in Canada, we know so much about our junior prospects because junior hockey. We know as much about junior hockey, as almost as much about junior hockey as we do about the NHL. Yeah, the games are on Sportsnet.
Who owns the NHL rights?
Exactly. So I mean, and it's not just limited to just the Ontario Hockey League. Like no, they were broadcasting games out of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. I got to see my hometown team, the Charlottetown Islanders. They were on two games in late March heading into the playoffs against their arch rivals. The Halifax Mooseheads were the best team in the division. But you also had the WHL and so on. So you got to see, a lot of these terrific young talents that are going to be in the NHL that you hear all this whispered hype about. Well, it's not whispered anymore because we know who they are. We've actually seen them play. And yeah, and that's something that, like you said, to your point, if they could just, start televising some more of the, get that synergy going between the NHL and the NCAA. So that, like you said, a kid like Cale Makar who wins the Hobey Baker, well, now everybody's going to be excited about it. That Hobey Baker win. Yeah, we saw him play in the in the Frozen Four. We saw him play in this tournament. We saw him play in this one, and now he's going to play his first game. There'd be a lot of excitement about it. I mean, there was some excitement about it, in Colorado among diehard Avs fans, but most of them were just like, "Oh, who's that kid? Oh, how nice! He scored his first goal! Yay!" They didn't know he won. They didn't even know he won the Hobey Baker Award.
And I'm not going to lie that John Buccigross as a play-by-play guy is just acid to my eardrums. He's fucking terrible. To have him on those Frozen Four, I couldn't watch. I had to turn down the TV sound and listen to something else.
Garth Brooks.
Right?
He's a good in-studio analyst.
Yes, he is.
Butchie
He's a good
was always
studio host.
a great studio host, a great in-studio analyst. Yeah. I never ever heard him call play-by-play, so I'll have to take your word
it's
for it.
better that you don't.
It's
better that you don't.
But it's not like the NHL doesn't have their own network. Like
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
one that's usually wasted with friggin'
just nothing.
garbage until game night,
And even then,
highlights of the same thing over and over and over.
But Johnny likes the infomercials.
I do like the infomercials. And do you know how many times I've seen Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final last year? I mean, it's insane. It's like it's like Shawshank Redemption comes on. You have to watch the whole thing every time. I'm flipping through channels and Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final last year's on. I watched the damn game over again, and I'm like, there goes 3 more hours of my life because I'm sitting here watching.
Do they still show like classic games as well?
Oh, I was like, yes, yes, the Caps still win.
They used to no, but I mean beyond last year.
No,
yes, that's normally summertime though.
They'll break down like the top 25 scores of all time. I've seen that 4,000 times.
They're still doing that shtick when I used to watch it up here.
Top 10 Europeans. I watched that this weekend.
Yeah. Top 10 rivalries. It's
God, that would be a great spot for NCAA hockey during the season, wouldn't it?
And it could just be replays. It doesn't even have to
be
live events.
Having a delayed broadcast or show friggin' highlights.
Look, the NBA does stuff where they hit the gambling market. They talk about daily sports wagering. They talk about who to pick for daily fantasy sites. I mean, they do all that stuff to at least hit people that, okay, well, what do we do? Oh, well, we got a game tonight, and here's here's the guys you should have in your lineup, and they have agreements with FanDuel or DraftKings or whoever. I don't get how it's not, how it's not important. I mean, look, Leonsis in Washington has kicked the Green Turtle out because Washington has acquired sports gambling in the state in DC. It will be legal to do that. He is putting a sports book at the arena.
Smart.
It's going to turn into rollerball. You watch it.
Ooh.
People are going to walk down and bet who's the next team to score. There's going to be gambling at the seats in that arena at some point. I'm telling you this without a question in my mind, because those guys also get that there's only so much that you can do to people, because there's so much. It's so much of a better experience, except for playoff hockey, by watching it at home.
And here's the thing, too. I mean, the NHL, didn't they just last summer enter into a partnership agreement, for sports gambling?
Yes.
That they were going to, and we all
did
know
another one like a couple weeks ago with William Hill.
Yeah, and we all know that, fantasy hockey is fucking huge.
But you understand, Lyle, what those agreements really mean. It means that those teams, when they gamble, are allowed to use the name Capitals or Blues. It is not. It's not endorsing. It's getting paid for the right. Instead of saying, I want to bet the Toronto hockey team, it's I want to bet the Maple Leafs.
I want to bet Long Island over Pittsburgh.
Right.
What are we, Blades of Steel?
It is not. It is not where they're actually endorsing gambling, which is, again, it's crazy. You listen to an NFL football broadcast, you listen to a CFL football broadcast, and the amount of times that they bring up lines and what's happening, just realize that that's what people's interest in. And I mean, think about it. You're betting who scores next. How many guys are in the stands drinking beers, going, all right, I'll bet you $10 we score next, or I bet you get the next beer if we score, or what?
Yeah.
It's happening. Why not captivate it and take the money?
Yeah. And that's when that would be perfect. As you said, NHL Network will be a perfect vehicle to cash in on that, rather than showing us showing the same old tripe. I mean, geez, I'm glad that I didn't waste my time, getting another subscription to them again, because it's been several years and it sounds like, Jesus, I haven't missed a damn thing.
If you really, really want to watch NHL Network, I'll give you the password to my Slingbox.
There it
and
is.
Watch it as well.
No, that's fine. I appreciate
right.
it, Johnny, but that's fine.
Their live look-ins are the only thing I like. I mean,
Yes, that was one feature that, I always did like about that. Yeah,
I do like that. I mean, they'll go and they'll do the interviews at rink levels of different people. That's pointless. I mean, it's
oh God, I friggin' hate that. I hate when they're friggin' interviewing the coach in the middle of the damn game. It's just like, will you get the friggin' microphone out of his face and let him friggin', plan strategy here? Get out of here.
I actually enjoy that.
But he's not saying anything. They're like the players
No,
are just speaking in
fine.
cliches but not saying anything.
Fine, let him not say anything.
God, it's a waste.
Right,
Anyway,
let's get to some gaming. Speaking of gaming,
speaking of
the
gaming,
200-point swing happened.
yeah, and I'm just messed
And
out.
and ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you. I
That
appreciate
jerk
it.
store.
now, the man who went stem to stern, wire to wire. He's got a C in his name for victory. I don't think victory is spelled with a C.
There it is.
There's one in there.
One
There's
C.
one in there.
It's
Yep.
victory. Mark with a C. Big
No,
winner.
the
picking
Russian
Minnesota.
one, it doesn't have the C.
Winner. I'm a winner.
Duluth wins it out. Duluth is on fire.
Yeah.
That's your Grim Reaper award, Mark.
That's
Not mine. It's
I mean,
Scott's.
it's mine.
Oh.
Everybody, here we are. So Mark wins. He has for the year he had 449 with that 200-point bonus.
Gosh,
Lyle came in
domination.
second, 217. Johnny 213. I came in dead last, 206.
God, when I saw UMass in the final with K.O. McCarr, I was like, oh yes, this is my year. Son of a bitch to lose.
Sean's team suspended operations mid-season, so Johnny picked them
Because I picked them 1 week.
exactly. And
It was
now
right after they didn't play for 2 weeks because of Blizzard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I present to you, because of that, the rules state that the brother of the winner of the pick'em gets to do the haha fuck you for the week.
Oh, that's
Hey!
good. That's good that I already planned it out then.
Perfect.
No
It's
pressure.
lovely how that works.
No, there's no
Amazing.
pressure.
Amazing how that works.
There's no pressure.
Johnny P, start us off with this haha
Yeah,
fuck
Sean,
you.
do you understand how the game is played?
No, I have no idea how the game's played.
Cool. It's Johnny picks a game, and the players are there, and you pick the players on the roster. Simple as that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because so I wanted to tie it. Last week we were talking about Chris Davis, right?
Sure were.
And he's not been good recently, but
Not great.
Got a
at
hit.
some point he was good. He hit over 50 home run once. The
50 home
last
run?
home runs once. The last home run that season was September 27th, 2013.
A preseason game.
There were no games played on that day.
Okay.
So-
perfect. No, even better. No.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to March 2nd, 2014, because that's the day that Hootie and the Blowfish came out with their best of album.
Love it. Perfect.
It's a good twist.
Great
But
choice.
to
Great
tie
choice.
this back to Chris Davis,
Okay.
2 teams got shut out that night.
Okay.
The
Perfect.
Capitals were one of them. We talked about them last week. So the game, March 2nd, 2004. The Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, this is a dog shit game. I love it.
Oh, wow.
What a
And
dog shit game.
since Sean's new to this, we'll let Sean go first.
When is this? 2004?
2004. So March 2nd, 2004.
March 2nd, 2004.
My God.
Wow.
Columbus
Oh, boy.
Blue Jackets, Carolina Hurricanes.
Ew. Ugh. That's
What
a
am I
deep
supposed to
dive
do
into
here?
nothingness.
You have to
Wow.
choose. You have to choose a player on the rosters of either team.
Oh, my.
18 players, 1 goalie each.
To Brendan Moore.
Yes, on the board.
Oh, look at
See, it's just
Sean.
that simple.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
On
wait
my
till we're about
radio
4 to
dial,
5
Scotty
rounds
is
in.
next.
Go Jeff Sanderson.
Jeff Sanderson.
Watch him not be in the Blue Jackets this year.
I have 2 different pictures on the board.
Hey, there it is.
I should have printed
Hey.
this out.
You really should have.
Whatever. I'm new
Yeah,
to
it
this
is what it
game. All right. And then Lyle.
Okay. Hurricanes, 2002?
2004.
2004. Sorry, sorry.
You can name Hurricanes in 2002 as well if you'd like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. We won't get an
2000
answer
why
for
did I
you
think of 2002? 2004.
because it's March 2nd.
Oh, okay.
That's probably why.
All right. Good thing you said that because I was going to say somebody else and I know
That's
he's not
fine.
there now. Eric Stahl,
On the board.
Ooh.
Mark.
rookie season. Rookie season.
That would have been my pick, unfortunately.
Rookie
Now I
season.
got to go back to the drawing board, and I'm going. There's an Igor on the Carolinas. I just don't remember what his last name is.
Igor.
I know who you're talking about too. I don't think he was. I
Oh,
don't know if he
yeah.
was on this team.
But I'm not going to go with him.
Okay.
Good.
That's a good swerve.
Great
That
swerve.
was
I love
almost
it.
as good as my swerve, but not quite.
Jesus.
Let's see. Probably not, but Rick Nash.
What?
Rick
No.
Nash on
Rick
Columbus.
Nash.
He goes on Columbus. Yes.
Yes.
On the board.
On the board. There you are.
I have 2 pictures.
Hey.
I told you guys. I have to look at both.
All right.
We have from the top chat,
Oh, yeah.
Chris is going to go with Eric Cole,
Ooh.
and he is on the board.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice pull.
Sean?
there.
I gotta pick another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep going.
No,
Yeah.
this is great.
I mean, you could.
Can I tell you this is so wrong? It's not funny.
This is the greatest
Please,
game ever.
Please tell us the most wrong answer.
This is wrong. No, I'm saying this game is wrong.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
I
it
thought
is.
you were going to give us a wrong answer, and then it was going to be right because one, Sean is always right.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be right because it's Cam Ward, but that's just
oh, Sean.
Sean, that's not there.
Oh,
no.
sorry,
he was
dude.
a rookie that year.
No,
No,
he
his
did
rookie
not
year
play
was
in
in
this
506.
2003, 2004. was
Uh-huh,
No,
fuck
it was
you.
2005-06 when they won the cup.
It was the year after the lockout. That was his rookie year.
2003, 2004. He was a rookie.
No,
He was a
2005,
rookie, damn it.
06.
Not true. He might have been a healthy sketch. But he was a rookie, damn it. He was on that team.
Okay. We'll go to the board. What do you guys say? Rule number 1?
Okay, yeah, no, Sean's always right.
John's always right.
Jeff
What
Skinner
was
that.
rule number
Put that.
2? Rule number
Jeff
2.
Skinner that.
Oh, if Sean is always wrong, refer to rule number.
Rule number
Okay,
one.
I got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Nailed
Thank
it.
you guys.
Nailed it.
All
Glad
right,
the
Scotty,
board of
you're up.
directors in your house.
Excuse me.
The best part too is I keep looking this way, and this is
I know.
where like the sliding glass door is.
Right?
Like there can't be anyone there. It's 4 feet from me.
We can't see it though. We just
Yeah.
it's assumed that it's a big boardroom. Give me let me have a little bit of David Vibornian in Columbus.
Got it.
What's
Wow.
wrong with you? Why do you know that?
Wasn't he? He was in X-Files, right?
Yes, he was.
Thought so.
He was Fox Mulder, but he had umlauts over his name.
Murder. Fox murder.
Fox Mulder. All right, whose turn is it now?
Whose turn is it now,
Lyle.
Donnie? Okay, staying with Columbus here. I'm gonna go with the pride of my old hometown of Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and say Jody Shelley.
Jody Shelley on the board.
Yes.
Why do you know that?
Because
do-
he's the pride of my hometown.
I
That's
do
why.
appreciate that you guys are telling me which team you're going for
Yeah.
first. By the
Oh.
way, I could figure
Yeah,
out
this is-
which.
Yeah.
Hard to look at.
Mark.
I'm gonna go with who I believe to be on the Hurricanes at this time, Ron Hainsey.
He's not on either team.
Oh no.
Sorry.
So close.
I think that was
Sorry.
the rookie year in Montreal. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game- this
Chris
game-
is
this
gonna
game's
go
over.
with Glenn Wesley.
This keeps going, even though
Yeah.
we got it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean we keep going until Scotty's like, okay, we're 25 minutes over. We need to stop.
We need to shut this
Hey
down.
guys, it's actually 9:00 Central Time.
Sean,
Ron Francis.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Ron Francis on the board.
I went
Nice.
with the wrong Ron.
There you
Did he
go.
really did?
Scotty.
Trying to think of who was in net for Columbus. I want to say that Tugnut was long gone. I think he was in Dallas at that point. So I'm going to go in a completely different direction and say Epson Knutson.
Epson Knutson. No.
Oh, not on Columbus. That's son of a bitch.
Sorry.
No. Sorry.
The girl in the skip town. What a fuck.
Sorry.
Oh.
Lyle.
Staying with Columbus. I'm gonna have a shot at the goalies here.
Can't
Get away
wait.
from that.
Pascal Leclerc.
Ooh,
No.
there it is.
Sorry.
That was good. Felt good about that one.
I
My-
did. I felt good about that one.
I did too, actually.
Mm.
I did not, and I'm running the game.
I know this is too early. I don't care. Sergei Fedorov.
No.
Anaheim at that point.
Do you just wanted to say his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Back to Sean.
Even though this game will never. I'm pretty sure Justin Williams was on that team.
Got it.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, look at you
Look at
sitting
him
there.
go.
Oh, this game's terrible. No,
This
look
game
at
is
you.
terrible.
Yeah, but look at you. You're doing better than
Keep
all these
going.
right
It's
now.
better. Doesn't mean it's a good game.
God damn.
He's
Coach
just competitive.
baseball, for Christ's sake. Doesn't mean it's a great game.
He's just competitive. It's like watching baseball.
All right.
Actually, that's exactly what the people in the stands during this game were like. It's not exactly a great game.
Fantastic.
Just because we're winning, it's not a great game.
All right, game.
I am going to go with. I'm going to take a shot at Columbus's goalie. I'm going to say Mark Denis.
Ooh,
Board.
nice one, Scotty.
Now I don't have to look down there. The thing that I hate about this the thing this place where I get the games and such. They always put a really shitty ad right in the middle of their rosters.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like, why would you do that? How it's so hard for me to take a screenshot. Lyle?
Okay, I'm gonna have her take a shot at the Carolina goalie now. I'm gonna say Arturs Urbe.
Sorry.
Shit.
Sorry.
Mark.
I think I'm just about done here. Have we gotten any of the Hurricanes? Have we gotten any defensemen whatsoever?
Yeah, Glenn Wesley.
We got some players.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, defensemen.
We got
Yeah,
Cam
Glenn
Ward,
West-
right?
Yeah, but there's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
some more defensemen out there.
I'm gonna have to go here soon anyway because I
All
gotta
I'm
keep
done-
an eye
I'm
on
done.
I gotta keep an eye on the Leafs Bruins. So
I'm done then.
okay, we
Pass.
can do what one more round.
All right, one
Last
more
call?
round.
Call for alcohol.
Sean
Jeff O'Neill.
Nice.
Ford.
Jesus, he's
Scotty.
just knocking it out of the
Ethan
park
Gamby
here.
loves it.
Not Jeff
Wow.
O'Neill?
Remember, I had a hatred of this team.
That's true.
Remember,
Oh,
this is the team that I cursed, and they didn't make the playoffs for 22 straight years. After.
Probably a little bit longer, I think.
Very
Sure.
true.
no, he knows this team.
I'm going to go with
Like Cam Ward was on it.
with Columbus and Lyle Odeline.
What?
Lyle Odeline.
Ooh.
Just say no.
No.
Oh,
Ah, too bad.
Lyle Odeline, you're up.
Lyle on the line.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now who are the guys that were on that team in 02 who would have been also there in 06.
It's a good one, Johnny. By the way, I want to
Thank you.
point that out. That was
Thanks.
a good,
And a great swerve, right?
lovely.
I thought through this. I did my research. Like Mark.
Vazicek? Joseph
Oh,
Vazicek?
Joseph.
Ford.
Nice.
Yes.
Good pull.
Mark, you're the last. Because
I'm
no one
still-
from the internet has chimed
Still passing.
Still passing.
Okay.
in.
By the way,
Still passing.
Dallas up 4 Cobb on Nashville. Jesus Christ. Look at Dallas go.
Oh man, please go Dallas because that'll at least if you could save my playoff bracket. Salvage some of it anyway.
Or Johnny, who you got? Who's the peoples?
All right.
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes. Craig Adams.
Oh, I could have. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
His brother Kevin Adams.
One
No,
was
just
DC.
kidding. Jesse Bolerice.
Oh, of course.
Ron Brednamore, Eric Cole,
I
Ron
got
Francis,
You did
I
was
got
said, yeah.
Brett Hedican,
Oh, Hedekin.
Sean Hill, Marty Murray,
O'Neill.
Jeff O'Neill,
Oh,
Alan Rourke, Bruno St. Jacques,
Awesome
Eric
shot.
Stahl,
Mention Eric Stahl.
Joseph Vasicek,
That's
Radim Verbata, Nicholas Wallen, Glenn Wesley,
Yep.
Justin Williams, and the Golden Weeks.
Oh, Kevin Weeks.
Kevin Weeks, the goalie.
Kevin
I would have thought
Weeks,
I thought he was
Kevin
by
Weeks
New
was the
Jersey
goalie
at that
there.
point.
NHL
Goalie
Network
Columbus.
analyst now. Kevin Weeks.
Columbus.
Columbus too.
No, he was Florida, Tampa,
Thought he was in Columbus too.
Jersey.
He was Holler Man in New York. I know that.
Yeah, Rangers. Oh, there we go.
There
Who was on the Columbus? Blue Jackets?
Columbus Blue Jackets, Andrew Castles,
Ah, of course.
Anders Eriksson, Tim Jackman, Aaron Johnson, Scott LaChance, Trevor Latowski, Manny Malhotra, Todd Merchant, Rick Natch. Lyle forgot his
Damn it, Luke
relation, Luke Richardson,
Oh,
Jeff Sanderson, Gerald Schofield, Jody Shelley, Yaroslav Spasik, Alexander Svitov, David Waborny, Tyler Wright, Nikolai Zerdev, and the goalie Mark.
Oh,
Dean.
Zherdev, everybody.
oh.
2 shit Russians in Svitov and Zherdev.
So that was fun. I'm glad I did
Good one.
that.
Yeah,
Good one. Nice.
yeah,
And I got
Right.
to mention Hootie and the Blowfish.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Perfect.
yeah. I wish
Well,
we'd had a little more time to do that one actually, but
Yeah.
still, it was a good one.
Johnny, what do you want to come back next week with another one?
Oh, you want me to find another one?
Come back another next week with another one.
Yeah,
All right.
and do that whole museum at the mysteries at the museum swerve. You know, the Louvre Museum is famous for the Mona Lisa, and down the street from it is this place.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do
Because
it.
that
the
was
next country over.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I had
Lyle.
you guys going.
Yeah.
I actually tried to see if there were any preseason games
I
on
thought there was gonna be
9/27, but I
bullshit
thought that
European
would have
game.
been awesome.
Yeah.
Bullshit European regular season games, but they're not. Lyle, enjoy this 5-2 thrashing the Bruins are putting on.
Will do. Will do. I can hear Steve Dangle crying already. So
Get
there
back
we
to your
go.
real job, Lyle.
Have a good. Nice seeing you again, Sean.
Nice seeing you, Lyle. Thank you.
Don't be a stranger, buddy. Come back again.
I
It was
will.
fun.
Thank you. I'll come back to your show anytime.
Peace, y'all.
There he goes. Lowrich, SpectorsHockey.net, HockeyNews.com. He's also some other places too. So go to @SpectorsHockey on Twitter for more. Johnny, hit us with some shout outs.
I'll give a shout out to Sean. Good talking to him. I got a random text today that was like, LOL, let me in. Something like that. I will give a shout out to the first week of the playoffs. Holy shit. And yeah, I might go hit golf balls tomorrow. It's supposed to be 77 degrees here. I'm
Come
gonna
out
take that.
lunchtime. We'll be playing. We're playing at 1. Come out lunchtime.
That's true. I might go see Sean and not work tomorrow.
There you go.
Bring your camera.
Attaboy. No
Yeah.
camera needed.
Bring your camera. Also, get a line. We got to
Team
run from the camera.
photographer for Dematha in only games that are close to my house.
Close to your house.
Yeah. All right.
All right. You good? All right. Mark.
Shout out to Scotty for winning the Matt Death Grim Reaper Award for outstanding futility and poor decision making in this year's NCAA pocket pool.
I do.
He chose University of Houston for the win. That could be why.
I had it.
That could be why.
Cougars
Also
always
shout-
win. Just ask Matt Death.
Yeah. They also shout out to Scotty for a birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
He had a birthday as well. It was recent. It was a recent birthday.
As recent as yesterday.
Yes. Within the last 24 hours, he had a birthday. Let's see. Shout out to the Patanzo parental unit is here. Both of them came down, Mom and Pop, to help out with Hudson. So shout out to them. And I guess that's it. The playoffs have been fun so far. I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of it, but Twitter apparently loves it. So that's all I've been hearing. Twitter and Instagram are just full of snarky comments, and I enjoy it.
Perfect.
So that's all I got.
All right, buddy. Sean, you got any shout outs?
Shout out to you guys. Because obviously haven't been around about a year and a half and go right into it and same gig and always fun to come on and have a blast. Getting old. Jilly has her first boyfriend right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
At 10. Wow. Need I say more? So might be a reason why I drink a lot now.
Attaboy.
Try to get through that now. But no, I mean it's obviously it's amazing. I don't get a chance to always listen to you guys, but it's pretty cool how you done. And I watched your guys' coverage of the Black Bears, and it's pretty cool to see what you guys done and how they embraced you. So, it's kind of crazy that I don't know, what are we, 16 years from when we started?
Going to be 18 in August.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. But wherever we've been, different areas, different things, it's pretty crazy. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Glad Wednesdays are normally bad for me, but I'm able to get on now. When my wife's out of town, I can definitely get on.
There you go.
So makes it easy, to do that. So I appreciate you guys, and hopefully I'll be on a vacation when the Caps win the Cup this year. It's cool to see your mom, guys. So that was also really, really neat. And I know the baby's probably getting really big, Mark. So I'm sure.
Yeah, 18 months.
I'm sure that's forget about your life at this point.
Yeah, the mighty Ginger has taken over.
Yeah, I'm sure it's kind of crazy. So no, I appreciate it. and Scotty and you guys are doing an awesome job.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Lovely. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to Sean for coming on and gracing us with his presence. Always
Definitely.
welcome. Doors always open unless we can't find the key. Shout out to everyone who gave me little birthday wishes. That was fun. Shout out to Jen for buying me all the Oyo.
All of it that's left. The rest
All
of it.
dude, like, did you see the picture?
I didn't see the haul. I don't
Like
think.
all this stuff. I still got 3 rings to build.
Wow.
Fuck. It'll be
Need
great.
another
This-
one. Need
my
another
summer
wire
vacation.
rack back there.
No shit, right? I already got 2. I got 2. It's fine. It's like it's looking good. And Mama Waz is setting up some diecast NASCARs because they don't want them anymore. So why not put more junk in my place?
They worth any money?
No, God no.
Okay.
Heavens no. They're worth as much money as Beanie Babies are now. Remember those kids? Those are great. Yeah. So shout out to 36 too. Mike Eagles. Woo. That's it. That's all. We've done it. For Johnny P. Mark with a C and Sean O, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. This has been the Face Off Hockey Show on the Face Off Hockey Show Media Faction, powered by Blog Talk Radio. Everybody, we will check us out on the Facebooks, facebook.com/FOHS Radio, twitter.com/FOHS Radio, and all the fun stuff that comes with that. Until next week, we will have second round action, I'm sure. It'll also be the day after St. George's Day and the day before, what is that? Anzac Day. So you got that going for you. Don't know what either of those mean. So we'll find out then. Peace, everybody. Bye.
Moving forward, never looking to the back. Started as a scattered brain, now we're fully intact. Living up to potential, we're proud of our name.